Hello out there in YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter land. It is me, Demetra K, and I hope you all are having a wonderful day. As you can see, I am here by myself. Mr. Donovan Sadiq, also known as the Black Yule Brenner, is still in Louisiana as he is celebrating the life of his grandfather that just recently passed. He was 100 years old, and so the ceremony was actually today. So he'll be back probably Sunday. I don't know because he's supposed to be heading over to the DR for another emergency situation. So nevertheless, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Today, we are going to have a conversation. Actually, we're going to have two conversations, and then we could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about from that point. But we're going to talk about the situation that I learned about, and I guess the rest of us learned about last week, about a 19-year-old sister who went on a date with a white guy, Maxwell Anderson, and she did not make it out of that date. And so I'll get into the details of that. And we're also going to talk about the legacy of OJ. Now I know that OJ passed away. I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, one of those days. I don't know. Thursday. But I wasn't here to talk about it. And a couple of people asked me to discuss it. So we're going to discuss it. And as I said, a couple of things we're going to discuss. Now, I don't know if I share the link, because usually I don't share the link if it's just me by myself. But I'll see how that goes. But if I do, I ask a couple of things. If I have not seen you on here before, all I ask is that you show me your face. If your thing looks like this, if it looks like this, show me your face before I bring you up. No one else will be able to see you but me. If you're not comfortable showing your face, also ask that if you've said the same thing before repeatedly, don't come back up here and click the link and say it over and over again unless the conversation warrants it. And I also ask that we all, of course you guys are respectful in the comment section, no name calling and all those type of things. And if you come up here, the same thing apply. So anyway, who is on here? Black America, the juice. Yes, a lot of people forget, or I guess I did. Anyway, that OJ Orenthal James Simpson was known as the juice. OJ, right? Duh. Tia, how you doing? Avenge the ancestors. I hope you're doing well. Easy E. Yes, I had a birthday on Saturday. I was in Vegas and I saw Mariah Carey. Was very lovely and nice. Patricia, how you doing? Jersey City in the building. Greg, how are you? And 53 feels like 52. And honestly, okay, let me not lie to y'all. Okay, today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start running. I'm gonna go running. So I went running, right? Soon as I took off, do you know I pulled a muscle in my right gluteus maximus, like right underneath it, and it hurt so bad that I can't even hardly walk. So I'm hoping it's just, something that I did because I haven't gone running in a while. But I'll tell you, boy, my hurts. So anyway, so today maybe I'm feeling like 83. I don't know. Miss Sweets Talks, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And Greg, yes, I am 53. You see the gray hair? Gray hair, I'm 53. Yes, rest in power, paradise to OJ. You know what? You crazy, Greg. Mike, nice. How you doing? Empress, how are you today? Says hello, Miss Demetra. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and insights on these issues with us. It is my pleasure. And you know what? Y'all share y'all thoughts with me as well. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm glitching up a little bit, but hopefully it'll catch up as streaming kind of is wonky sometimes. Brina, how you doing? And ARE Radio, what's going on? You know what? I did not stretch. I did a warm-up lap, like walking, but I didn't stretch. And it hurts like really bad. So anyway, Black America, I guess I'm getting old. Rabbit is getting old. So anyway, I missed you guys on Sunday. So let's get into it again. Donovan he'll be back. I don't know when he's gonna go to the DR when he gets back from Louisiana. So maybe just be me for a while. But nevertheless, let's get into this. I'm gonna actually show you guys a little video of what I'm gonna talk about here with Sade Robinson is her name. So here we go. Hey, Corey, how you doing? All right, here we go. Oh, first I gotta press play.
Okay.
Barely speaking above a whisper.
This is justice for Sade.
And fighting back tears.
Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby?
Sheena Scarborough.
She hurt nobody.
Was pushing forward for her daughter, 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Friday, Robinson's family sat in court and heard the grim details surrounding her death while staring at the man accused of taking her life, 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson.
The allegations in the complaint are abhorrent. It is the highest level of violence imaginable.
Prosecutors say Anderson and Robinson were going on a date Monday evening on April 1st. The state says they went back to Anderson's Southside apartment around 9 o'clock, where they say he killed her between then and early Tuesday morning. They say he then dismembered her body and scattered pieces around the county.
The defendant did a tremendous amount of work to try to cover up the crime, including lighting Miss Robinson's vehicle on fire.
Last week, police found and connected a severed human leg in Cudahy and a foot in Milwaukee to Robinson. After text messages and witness statements linked the two together, Anderson was arrested April 4th during a traffic stop. He's now charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson.
Sade was more than a person. She was an angel. Not having her right now is very painful.
Family says the entire timeline has them shaken.
Imagine trying to bury your niece with no body for the service. I need justice for Sade.
And they want the person responsible to pay. And Anderson's attorney also tried to get that first-degree intentional homicide charge dismissed, saying there wasn't enough evidence to prove it, but that was dismissed. And he's in jail tonight on a $5 million cash bond. His attorney also tried to get reduced to $500,000, and that request was also dismissed. He's due back in court April 22nd.
All right, so I'm going to remove that. So again, that was a Sade Robinson. She's 19 years old, lived there in Milwaukee. Sounds like, I'm not sure if she met him on a dating app or she kind of just, I don't know. Sounds like maybe she did. So nevertheless, she met up with him at a restaurant that she worked at, that he worked at rather, and it's called Twisted Fisherman. So it sounds like he was a bartender there. And they actually met there, had dinner, I guess. Then they went to another restaurant called Duke's Bar or something like that, Water Bar or something like that. And that was on April 1st. And so she had sent her friend a Snapchat, kind of like a TikTok or something like that. And then I guess that same friend called her, didn't answer. She didn't show up to work that next day. So she was like, okay, that's odd because she would not show up to work. So then, of course, they called the police. And then they, pinged her phone. And then they actually went to his house, him being Maxwell. Maxwell, the 33-year-old man that allegedly did that to her. And they said once they got into his house, because that's what it looks like, they found, blood in bed, the walls, everything like that. So from the pinging of her phone, they said it doesn't seem like she was there no more than 3 hours. And then the phone had moved several places, and a couple of places that the phone pinged, there was one where they found her severed leg, and they said it looked like it was sawed off below the hip. So they found that actually some bypassers or whatever it was. They found the leg on the beach. And then another place where it pinged, they found a foot with pink fingernail, toenail polish, I guess you could say, on there. And so as of this moment, they have not found the rest of her body. There was a rumor going around that he had been released, and he has not been released. Of course, there you heard them say that his bond is $5 million. His lawyers wanted it reduced to $500,000, and the judge is like, no, we're not going to do that. But I was also looking around to just kind of see what I can learn about him, rather. It sounds like his father is very wealthy. He owns like a bunch of investment firms, insurance businesses and things like that. So he comes from money. He said that he was a football star in high school and things like that. But it sounds like he also has a record ranging from domestic violence, anger management, just a whole bunch of other stuff in between. So it sounds like he, is a troubled human being. But I want to have a conversation about this because this kind of stuff is avoidable, and RIP to her. Sounds like she wanted to go on, to college and, do great things with her life. Only 19 years old, 14 years from what they're saying, younger than that monster that took her life. So I want to have a conversation with y'all as to how we can avoid this, especially in this day and age. I've never done a dating app, to be quite honest with you, just not something that I would ever be into, because even with dating apps, you just don't know, right? People could be whoever they want to be on those dating apps. And then, my thing is, with all the technology, what's it going to hurt to run some sort of a background check on somebody? I don't know, maybe it's expensive, maybe it's not. But there's some things you could plug a person's name and age and, all that stuff in to see if something even preliminarily will come up so you can learn about who they are. But there's just so much to be said here. So I'm going to read you guys' comments. Had you guys heard about this case at all? And, what's your guys' opinions, and what do y'all think needs to be done to avoid something like that? So anyway, I'm gonna get into the comment section. Hey, Brother Todd, how you doing? So I'm gonna come back down to your comment. Let's see who else came on here. Oh, wow. All right. Damon, how you doing? Hope you are doing well. Let's see. Alonzo, what's going on with you? And who else came? Okay, let's see. Entree. Did I say Entree again? But I'm gonna say it again. He says, "Oh yeah, I heard about this case. Okay, good. You heard about it." And I am chosen. How you doing? I like that name. Says she wasn't a sister, just another Black woman. She got what she wanted. What's the problem? Do you think she wanted that? I don't know. I don't think anybody will want to be dismembered. Her family is still looking for the rest of her body. So I don't know if anybody would necessarily want that. I don't think she went on that date thinking, today I might be dismembered. I don't want to deduce her down to just another Black woman. Like, what does that even mean? Yes, naming another. He says PC devil. What the F? ARE Radio says, when will they learn? I've heard that narrative too. Quita, how you doing? Let's see here. Your average logical thinker, what's going on with you? He says, welcome back, Demetria. How was a B-Day shindig in Las Vegas? It was very calm and mellow, uneventful, and it was nice. And that's all I can ask for. It's just uneventful. Did see Mariah Carey. She was amazing. So that was a good highlight. They met at I think they met at his, where he worked as a bartender. What did it say? The Twisted Fisherman. Maybe that name was a little bit more telling than it needed to be. The Twisted Fisherman. So it sounds like it was a seafood restaurant and he was a bartender there. So again, they were saying too that he's a nepotism baby. But it doesn't sound like he was necessarily benefiting from his father if he was a bartender at a, seafood restaurant. I don't know. Lynette, how you doing? Says Montgomery, Alabama. And Brina says, poor thing, she was the victim of a serial K. They'll find more victims, unfortunately. Yes, I heard something about there's another girl, I think they said 14 or 15 in the area missing. Now, I haven't heard anything else about that, but as I was reading, a guy, I guess it was his friend, said that he had went over his house one time, and he saw that he was digging a hole in his backyard that was like 5 feet or 6 feet long and pretty deep. So I don't know if they'll, go back there and dig it to see if they can find something else. But his friend said that in June of 2023, he saw him doing that. And Beats by Dizzy, what's going on? Where have you been? He says a divester's nightmare. So are we, not we, but you, saying she's a divester because she is a Black woman with a white man? Is that what it is here? Because I know divestors are supposed to be a section, and I would say a small section, Black women who are divesting from Black men. Is that what that is? Okay. Brenda says that was definitely a serial killer style. Yeah, because it's like, you don't just wake up one day and says, I'm going to go on a date, bring her back to my house, and then do that to her, right? I think you're right. I think they'll probably find more things in his past. Damien says, is there a death penalty in that state? Nope. Sounds like he'd only be eligible. And let me actually tell y'all what they charge him with. And he'd only be eligible for life. And then depending on, the other stuff, like 10 years, 2 years, when they piece all the stuff together. So I think dismembering a body is like 10 years, he could get. So it says, Anderson was arrested on April 4th and charged with first-degree intentional homicide. mutilating a corpse, and arson charges relating to Robinson's death because he also burned her Honda Civic, and somebody saw him doing it. So he tried to burn her car up. I guess he did. But yeah, it doesn't sound like he's going to get the death penalty. It sounds like he will get life at the most. The average logical thinker says they're connecting him to another black girl that went missing. Yeah, so I did hear that, but I haven't seen anything else really kind of floating around about that. So I guess just waiting to see more about it. And I don't know if his friend saw him digging a hole in his backyard. They might want to go looking and see, you know. Easy says long record of felonies. Yeah, he got a lot of stuff going on. And see, that's the kind of thing too. And not just even for women, but for men too. Like, do some research on who y'all going out on a date with. You know, and I don't want to say especially in these times, because I think people always been on something crazy or whatever. But now that we have the technology, we really should be saying, okay, you look good on paper. You cute. You sound real good. However, let me go on and run a little background check. You ain't even got to tell that person, right? Just do it, and then you can make a better decision. Now, I'm not saying the best decision, but a better decision. Let's say ARE Radio says, nah, it's just his nature. Okay, could be. And Miss Sweet, she says, welcome to Wisconsin. Hope he doesn't get, but he might get away with it due to his connections. He might, because it sounds like his dad is, you know, very wealthy and well connected. So it just really remains to be seen. And Brother Ty says, peace, Demetra. This type of crap happens all the time, but gets reported differently. This is only making news because body parts were found. But what happens to all those women who goes missing and nothing is found? Yeah. And from what I understand, the number's probably gone up quite a bit, but it's supposed to be like 64,000 missing Black women and children missing. That is just kind of gone unsolved, and there's probably more. And they said too, it's just as many Black men and boys missing. But for whatever reason, you know, it just kind of only gets talked about the women, but there's just as many men and boys Black missing as well. Ms. Sweet says, speak on it, Demetra. We as women need to be more careful, especially when it comes to dating apps. Yeah, and I would say that's for everybody, right? Because men get hooked up, you know, in a bad way on those dating apps too, you know, whether they get set up, you know, by a woman and the dudes rush in and, you know, all of that. So I think everybody should be careful because it's crazy out there. Quita says, I don't think they met on a dating app. I saw it somewhere, but then I hadn't seen it anywhere else. So I'm not really quite sure where they met. But they said that she, I guess, so maybe she had gone to the bar before. I don't know. But she was saying, oh, you know, we're going on a date. And she was so happy. So it was their first date. So not really quite sure where they met. The average logical thinker says, yes, ma'am, I use Spokeo to background check. Yeah, you can use Spokeo. You could do like the yellow pages, white pages, and all that. And Easy says all these cases of divesting gone bad. Your life is in danger. You choose that route. And maybe she felt like she wasn't in danger. Maybe she thought he was okay. Because, you know, people who are crazy usually don't present to be that way when you first meet them. Usually they like, oh, yeah, I'm good. You know, they give off really good signals and then, yeah. So, hi, Negroes, how you doing? And Andre says, agree, definitely do a background check for reasons you said. Yep. Hey, Brother Samuel, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. French Creole, what's going on? Long time no see. It says, I have a OJ story. Okay, I cannot wait to hear it. JJ, how you doing? It says, definitely this was not reported on main media. I saw it on main media, but I think like Todd said, it got picked up because, you know, they found body parts kind of all over the place. It said, and they weren't even in the same area. So I don't know if he was just, you know, not to be disrespectful, but just chucking her remains out the window or what, you know, but I think that's why it's getting a lot of attention. And let's see, Negroes says the killer is the son of a millionaire. They said he had I heard that too, a sex dungeon. Heard that, but I didn't read that where I was reading. Not to say that is not true. I just didn't see it. But yeah, he is the son of a millionaire from what they're saying. Ricky Cook, how you doing? And Brina says that's a horrible thing to say about Black women. Come on now. And I am chosen said yes, she's in Wisconsin. Okay, yeah, that's from what I understand, Milwaukee. And JJ says I found out via Black New Black Media. Okay, yeah, I saw it. I think I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw it last week sometime. But it happened on the 1st, so we're just kind of not hearing about it. Maybe a week or so later. Hey, Pop, how you doing? Miss Sweet says, people are heartless, literally. Yeah, it's just, wow. Negro just says, and that he went to prison for assault and domestic violence. Yep. Easy says that dude has some bad, obvious vibes that I can see right away. Wish she would have noticed the same. Yeah, you know, sometimes when you get to know a person, you're you know, your guard is kind of down because you don't want to present to be that person. And, you know, she's 19. You know, think about us when we were 19. We were a little on the silly side, most of us. Not silly in a bad way, but just naive, right? So we got to remember that she was 19 and he was 33. So that's really kind of universes apart if you think about it. Yes, Damon, beyond heartless. And hey, Michi, how you doing? You didn't hear about this case? Yeah, it happened on the 1st, but we're kind of starting to hear about it not even a week ago that they started talking about it. So yeah, it's crazy. Negro says the Most High was giving her signs she wasn't paying attention. That fool looked off. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to sit at the same table together. But you know, maybe she liked him. I don't know. Brogu, how you doing? It says some sisters always want to talk about how the black man is bad. Listen to this case and learn something, sisters. Y'all want to be being with the white man is so much better. She thought the same. Yeah, there's unfortunately some sisters like that. As they say in the nation, accept your own and be yourself. You know, you can't go. I don't say you can't go wrong with it because, or whether you a woman or a man, you know, we harm each other on both sides. That's why I really like to, you know, talk too much on one side or the other because there's a lot of harm going on both sides. But yeah, you'd be probably better off being with somebody who looks more like you, I guess. Clubber Lane, how you doing? Says she's someone's child. Even if you disagree with interracial dating, some of the comments are wild. Yeah, we want to really be respectful. Doe, how you doing? Easy says they better go through his yard and basement. Yep, they better. Demetrius, how you doing? He says women, it's okay to date Jesus every morning. His intentions are as good if you let him in your heart. Yeah, but you know, Jesus can't do. I won't get in trouble. But yeah, I agree with that to some degree. And welcome. Our Negro said he scattered her body very brazen. Yeah, just like discarded her like she was garbage, right? Entree said it's a bar on the waterfront. So that sounds like one of the bars that she went with. And Quita says they found a dungeon in his basement. I heard that, but I didn't read that anywhere. So I'm not saying it's not true. I just personally didn't read it. Odd Negroes said stop swirling. Okay. Brina says sound like a Jeffrey Dahmer. Yeah, he might be. And wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer in Milwaukee too? Are they related? They might be, you know. I did BFF. I enjoyed my birthday. Nothing major, just you know. And I like that sometimes. I'm not doing a bunch of nothing. So I did have a great time. Thank you. Alonzo, he says goes back to always let someone know where you're going. Make sure that your date is cognitive of it as well. Oh yeah, that's one thing my mom used to always say. Even when I moved out on my own, she said always let somebody know where you at all times. Now, y'all got to remember when I was 19, and we didn't have no cell phones like that. Of course, they had a cell phone. It was the brick. But we didn't have no cell phones like we do now. You know, we might have had a beeper, but y'all know how those things work. So my mom was like, I don't care if you live by yourself, you're grown. You always let somebody know where you're going because if you come up missing, we need a starting point. And I never forgot that. So, yeah, we need to teach our children and people around us, hey, it ain't about us being in your business. And then I think they also said they tracked her because, you know, on iPhones, they have the, I forget what it's called, but you can track your friend or your loved ones and all that. So I think that's kind of how they found her too. I'm not for sure. But yeah, so that's a good idea to deal rather to share your location. That's what it is. Share my location with somebody that you'll know come looking for you if you come up missing. Let's see here. And Pop says, I think he meant baby mama is a divestor and thinks it's a flex. I mean, she might. I don't know. How does he treat her? I don't know. You know, I try not to get off into that. Negroes 19 and naive, complex blackness. How you doing and where you been? He says, he has several prior convictions for assault. Yep. And Megan Brown, how you doing? Says there's a lot of interracial couples in Milwaukee. Okay. And you know what? That's probably everywhere. Because I'm in Houston and I see it quite a bit as well. So it's probably just kind of the sign of the times, you know. JJ says Jeffrey Dahmer type of white man. Yeah, he like Jeffrey Dahmer and Michael Myers had a baby somehow. That's how he looks to me. Complex Blackness says she wasn't naive. She had something for Zaddy. I mean, she's 19. How much did you know when you were 19? You know, the average logical thinker says, sound like any woman's nightmare. Yep. And Lunice, how you doing? Long time no see. Says they are saying his father's very wealthy. Yep, I did read that. Easy say he probably has her other parts in his fridge. I think by now they would have looked in his refrigerator. I hope, right? And Gail, how you doing? He says, Lord, I know you see the devil in here. Do you do what you do, Lord? She got what she wanted. Rebuke him, Lord. Yeah, so you're putting that in quotations from what he said. Yeah, that is awful. So hopefully he does not make that comment again. I haven't seen him on here. Darlene X, how you doing? Says only 10 years. Yeah, for just the dismemberment of the body, but not for what he ultimately did to her. All right. And Poppy say, plus he has a half breed. And who is that? And Eunice, how you doing? Long time no see. Says, hi, Demetri. I hope all is well. Most of my family and I live here in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. And I make sure that I talk to one of my daughters to make sure she heard about what happened. Yeah, I shared that with some young ladies I know too. You know, they like to be on them apps and all of that. Is like, you might get something you ain't bargained for, you know. Negro says serial killer check his whole life. Yep, bro. Goose says Demetri, divestors are not a small amount of women. That number is growing every day. She just so happens to got caught with the wrong one. I don't know of any. I want to make sure before I know of maybe one or two that date other than black men, but I don't know a whole lot of black women that just, you know, I want a white man type of thing. Yeah, complex blackness said he looks like a straight white supremacist. Yeah. And let me see if I say this right. The Nogahite Israelite, aka Black Cougar 1959. How you doing? So you are responding to Brogu. And Sony, how you doing? I love you to avenge the ancestors. And your astrological thinker says we need discernment. Yeah, you know, that's that sixth sense, right? That's that, as some in the church say, that spirit man, like, hey, hello, hey, he off or she's off. Some ain't right here, but what they call in the dating world nowadays, right? Red flags. But we dismiss those red flags. Go away. Go away. I like them. I don't see the red flags, right? So absolutely, discernment is definitely going to help. And Eunice, she said, yes, there's another young black girl that is missing as well. And they found another leg that doesn't belong to the girl that got killed. Oh, Lord, mercy. Yikes. Andre says, when he get locked up, down he'll get the right Dahmer treatment is going to get handled. No pun intended inside. Because y'all heard what they did to him with a handle. I'm just leave it at that. All right, so let me skip down just a little bit so that I can catch up. And Chief Halton, how you doing? Says Nancy Grace said there's two different black women. Dude gonna get the business in the big household. Okay, so Nancy Grace is a funny character. I remember she was like the go-to source in I think the 90s and the early 2000s, and all of that. But yeah, I don't want to say if Nancy Grace said it's probably true because Nancy Grace was wrong, especially about Michael Jackson. So, but I think she's a pretty good source. All right. Let's see. I am chosen says I say the same thing when a black man do it. Is what you choose. Stop the dumb stuff. Get to know a man before you your stupid A go somewhere alone with him. Damn, you know what? As harsh and austere as that was, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. And like I said, I don't want to say things have changed, but yeah, you definitely need to be getting to know people. You know, that's why you tell the below the belt area of you, be quiet. I'm doing the thinking. I'm doing the talking. You don't speak for me right now. Matter of fact, I need you to go somewhere in a closet under a bed, whatever you need to do. But I'm doing the talking. So I totally agree with you. Pop says, well, she wanted a Brad. What she got? Nah, you know, because while we say she got a Brad and she got what she got, how do you explain when sisters, let's just leave it at there. I'm not saying that this is always only the way it is. Well, what happens when it happens when sisters date brothers? Does she deserve that too? Because I think a person should be able to go on a date and not be dismembered, regardless of who they go on a date with, you know? So I'm asking you, do you think that's the case when that happens to a sister by a brother? Just asking. Alonzo says, if he was serving the drinks, then what was she drinking? I don't think he was serving the drinks. I think they were actually at, eating, sitting at a table because they said the surveillance camera showed them, there. I think they were there for like an hour and a half or so. So it doesn't sound like he was working that day. But correct me if I'm wrong. Brina says, I don't care what color or gender. A stranger is a stranger. I don't trust anyone. Absolutely. Jamarcus, how you doing? Damon says, yeah, it made national news. Yeah, as y'all saw the clip I showed you, I think it was Fox News that covered it. So, and Miss Sweet says she didn't want to brag. She wanted some money. Milwaukee's a small version of Las Vegas. Oh, okay. Tricks in 304. Sometimes they date the wrong white man. Got it. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was like Vegas. All right. Okay. And Brother Philip, how you doing? He says he did some of this while riding a city bus. I've been covering it from day one. I'm from Milwaukee and currently live in Vicksburg, Mississippi, where she's from. Okay, so I didn't know she was from Mississippi. So is her family in Mississippi or Milwaukee? Yeah, but I did see the still photos of him on the bus. And so they said that he, I guess was dropping stuff off or whatever. And then after he burned her car, he jumped on the city bus. So they do have footage of him on the bus. Hey, Beverly, thank you so much. I did have a great birthday. Thank you. Albie, how you doing? Where you been? And Quita says, Demetri, did you hear about the teacher that was selling students? Oh, God, yes. That was selling students to her son to prostitute. It was here in Houston. It was Klein High School or something like that. Yeah, she was a cosmetology teacher, and her son is 21, and she was getting the troubled students. So I think one was 14, 15, 16 girls who were kind of like having problems at home, and they trafficked them. They had them in a hotel, trafficking them. And this is a Black woman, that did that. It's crazy as hell. There's a lot of things going on out there in the world. Guy Social, how you doing? It says none of this has anything to do with OJ. So, I thought if you could write, you could type, you could read. And the title says Sister Found in Pieces, Date with Stranger / The Legacy of OJ. And I'm going to leave it at that. Carla, how you doing? Says, I feel bad for her family, but and then your comment cut off. So sorry about that. And Dia, how you doing? Where you been? He says, I'm just joining. Happy belated 53 birthday, Demetri. Thank you. Rogu says, why are y'all trying to bring up OJ? This has nothing to do with OJ. Yeah, we're going to talk about OJ in a minute, but that's why I said if he could type, he could read. I'm thinking unless something happened. I don't know. Till Dog, how you doing? He says, is interracial dating the problem? Are the people choosing the wrong toxic person over and over again? Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily interracial dating because we got people who are cuckoo bananas in every race, right? I mean, we know of women serial killers and men serial killers of all races, if that's indeed what he is. So I don't necessarily know if it's interracial dating that caused it. I just think, like you said, he was deranged and she didn't know it. And unfortunately, she caught the end of what he was probably planning to do. He probably planned that the minute they were going to go on a date. He probably planned everything. Hey, come back to my place. And God knows what she went through before he even did that to her. So I think you raised a pretty good question. Carly says, I feel bad for her family, but I can never date a dude. Yeah, I feel you. Exactly. Philip says, yes, the Jeffrey Dahmer is in Milwaukee. Okay. That's what I thought. Doe says, I'm always tracking my children. You got to. Deacon, how you doing? The Deacon is here. All right, so let me catch up a little bit. I see I'm behind. Hello, Angela. How are you? And Deacon, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you. He says, I got to get in on this conversation tonight. Yes, indeed. And we are glad that you are here. And Doe says, a lot of interracial couples in South Carolina. All right. And let's see. Yeah, they're everywhere, actually. Like I said, I see a whole bunch of them here in Houston as well. Negro says, a lot of dismemberments in the news lately. This is like the 5th one in the last 2 months. Yeah, I think this is the only one that I've heard of in the last couple of months. And thank you, Demetrius. I appreciate that. The birthday wishes. Thank you. And Darlene says, you have to be careful with whoever you go out with. You always tell someone where you are going, and you never go to someone's home until you know him much better. And you're still careful. Yeah, even then, because people pretend for a very long time, to catch you off guard, and then wham, Carly said, just say no to Brad. Yeah, you gotta be discerning, right? And I'm gonna catch up to these comments. Sorry, guys, I know I'm a little bit behind. Alonzo says, yeah, it amazes me that Black people have become so complacent. No way would a Black woman be trusting of any man without knowing them. Yeah, there's been a few, but I just think people are just getting a little bit comfortable for some reason, and they shouldn't be. Deacon, thank you so much for the donation. Says they date Pink, have no standards for only black men. Nah, come on now. Marcella, how you doing? He says, Dimitri, you said that she was dating a stranger. That guy she said had to date with was supposed to have been a co-worker. I don't think it was a co-worker. I think he worked at that particular restaurant, the Twisted Fisherman, but I don't think she worked there. But then again, I could be wrong, so don't quote me, which would be interesting. But it definitely was a first date. Greg, how you doing? Says one of the problems is that many of us still believe that their Lord and Savior looks like the leader that this girl was so excited to go out with, along with her mother co-signing her 19-year-old going out with a 34-year-old man. The sunken place is getting full on both sides of the political parties. Well, I don't know if her mom had anything to do with it. I mean, I agree. 19 to me is still a kid. I know chronologically she's an adult, but yeah, she's a kid. I don't know how much her mom would have co-signed that. Did her mom even know she was going out with him? I don't know. It's so many questions, right? But yeah, that's why it is a good idea to introduce people to people. Hey, this is such and such. We're going on a date. Just wanted him to, that way they can see that your people is not with the stuff, right? Like you're not out there just by yourself. That they'll have to answer to somebody. They'll probably be less likely to harm him. I'm not saying they won't, but less likely, right? Norris, how you doing? Said happy belated birthday, Demetra. Still one of the prettiest. Oh, thank you, and intelligent women I've seen in my 73 years on the planet. I love and appreciate you for that. Sure know how to make a girl, older woman at this point, feel good. Thank you. Easy says the need to call Milwaukee's Milwaukee. Oh Lord, is it that bad there? Deacon says this is a needed conversation. Yes, we need to learn how to avoid this, not just for women, but men too, right? Pop says Nancy Grace is lopsided breast having. God, what's wrong with you today? Robert, how you doing? Says don't trust people before you try people. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that ain't nothing true until it's been tried. Come on now. Exactly. And as Ronald Reagan said, not that I followed the politics of him, I think I was like 12 when he came into office. He said, trust but verify. I trust you a good person, but I'm sure going to back it up with something, right? Some evidence. So absolutely. And Megan, he said he may have drugged her. He might have, right? There's no telling what he did to her. All right. And Brina says that young woman didn't even get the chance to make a mistake and learn better, right? She was 19, And I Negro says, sorry off topic, but what is going on with Caitlyn Jenner and Angel Reese and the media? Why are they pushing her so much? I thought Angel Reese was the star. I said Caitlyn Jenner. I'm tripping. Caitlin Clark. We could talk about that. Don't let me forget, though. We're going to transition in just a minute to that of OJ. Marcella says, like you said, don't think below the belt. There are, right. If you really had to do that, there's things you could do, I guess, to help yourself. And Deacon says, no, they make it known when we do it. All right. And King Kong, how you doing? And let's see here in the Black Cougar, he says, red flags and discernment for all men and all women, all nationalities. Thank you for what you just said. Yeah, I mean, because everybody has a potential to be a little bit crazy, And Guy Social says, FBA all damn day. Say it with your chest. And T-Hawk, how you doing? Says, I'm mortified. And to be honest, I don't like when Black women date these other races and they ain't even paid as reparation. Yeah, and I'm one of those people, like, to each his own. I just know it ain't for me. You know what I mean? To each his own. I Negro says, the wrong white man sounds like a Vivica Fox Lifetime movie. You crazy. Ashley, how you doing? And Miss Sweet says, teach Demetra, we are all being unalived by every man, black, white, orange, and purple. We as Black women are not valued as human beings. Yeah, that's true. But as I said too, we unalive in each other. Because let's, especially when it comes to us and anybody else, really, crime is about proximity, right? So a lot of times we hear, Black men are, killing Black women. Crime is about proximity because white women will say the same thing about their man. White men are killing white women, Asian, so on and so forth. But I think it's fair to say too that Black women be taking brothers out of here too. So it's just about discernment. You could try your best and make sure you're with the right person, but sometimes you miss signs. Alonzo said no one deserves to be unalive because of nativity, naivete rather. I'm sorry. And he says young lady's curiosity was her demise. Yeah, it could have been. And then I don't know. I don't know a whole lot more about it. That's okay, Black Cougar. People misspell my name all the time, and I'm okay with that. That's okay. And Gail, thank you so much. He says, I have a class. I will catch up on the replay. Love you. I love you too. Thank you so much for that. And don't be late for class. Deacon says, I blame older Black women for misleading Black young girls into this crap. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm going to get these comments down so I can really give some of this stuff a conversation. Angela says, other groups like Middle Eastern folks court as groups of relatives. Yep. And that's what they do in the nation as well. And Brother Samuel says, the Bible says, judge not that ye also be judged. I take that to mean you will be judged by the same harshness. Judge in humility and learn. Yeah. It'd be saying that's what you get type of stuff. See, it's all fun and games until it happens to you or somebody right? The last thing you want is somebody to say, well, that's what they get. They shouldn't have done it. Because I don't care what somebody's done. I would not wish nothing like that on my worst enemy. Because there's no telling what that girl went through. Was she alive when he was doing? Like, there's so many questions. I can imagine being her mom and her dad or uncle, all of them wondering that. Reading Gil's comments. I know sometimes my mouth is a little too quick, so I have to work on that in my brain. Amir, how you doing? He says, arise in the house. All right. And Hall J, how you doing? He says, how unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. It's just unfortunate because this ain't gonna slow up nothing. Unfortunately, I think you're right. I think, there's a lot of people who think they're invincible. It ain't gonna be me. Well, because she should have, did this, that, the other, and I would have, instead of saying, okay, because they say a wise man learns from other people's mistake, right? A fool learns from their own. So if I was on these apps or going out and, on first dates and stuff, I would look at things like that and say, okay, I might want to cover all my bases, all right. So Jay Morrison, how you doing? Says, I didn't stop going in people's house till I was 34. And what does that mean exactly? And welcome. Damon says, Miss K is 5th degree black belt in verbal judo. I know my sister be on me too. Like, you can't say that. Easy says, 19 to 34. Would any on here allow their daughter to date that age? I wouldn't want my daughter to date somebody who was that much older, but you got to remember 19 is still an adult and they could say, I'm grown. You don't tell me who I could date, and all of that. So I just think we should be teaching our children those things from the cradle. It don't wait till they start saying, oh, I like boys or I like girls. You got to start teaching them that stuff from the cradle on expectations and common sense and, asking questions. If it look good, okay, verify that it is. Like we got to start. We can't wait till they start to, feeling hot and bothered. You got to start when they're babies. Deacon, once again, thank you so much for the donation. He said, no one teaches Black girls to love Black males. Oh, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. Because, of course, we cannot judge the things that we see with and put that on everybody. So I would definitely say that's not true. Because I have been taught to love Black men. Because my daddy a Black man. So I Negroes, it says we have to judge so we can discern right from wrong. But is there a difference? Wouldn't discernment be different than judgment? I'm just asking because I don't know, Thank you, Marcellus. He says, I don't look a day over 25. Oh, you're too kind. GP, how you doing? So just got here. The case wasn't surprising. I say that due to the generation being green, people like me try to tell them when they're in danger and are doubted. Why tell them if they won't listen? Yeah, they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? You can give them the information, but it's up to them to take it. Miss Sweet says social media has made it normal to meet up with strangers. It's becoming our demise. I've always been kind of scary like that. I don't think I'd be meeting up with a stranger. If I did, obviously if you meet somebody you get to know somebody outside of personal. You have to meet them somewhere, but it sure would be in a public square in broad daylight with a million people there. You know, it ain't gonna be, let's go to this isolated park, you know, and have this nice little picnic where we won't be disturbed. It's like, sucker, you got me messed up. Negro, he says, well, just like Uber Lyft getting in cars with strangers. Yeah, I saw a story too. Lord have mercy. A sister who drove Uber, I think it was, and she had a fare. So a fare is a person that you know gets in your car, got to know the guy in the car, and they went on a date, and he put some roofies, I guess, in her drink, and said she woke up in a hotel room and her car was missing and all that. Now they caught the guy because the dummy used his real name and everything to catch the ride. But it's like, girl, that you working. How you get to know somebody that quickly and then go off somewhere with him, at least somewhere where he could roofie you, right? So yeah, we got to be careful. And you know, that was a sister and that was a brother, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. Empress, you say, this young woman had her own apartment and job, working hard and planning to enlist in the Air Force and had her associate's degree. Yeah, so she wasn't just, you know, somebody who was hanging out, but even still with all of that, 19, it's not a lot of living, right? It's not like I'm 53. So I've had a lot of life experience. I know that when I was 19, I didn't have a lot of life experience. I made a lot of mistakes, you know. So I think we should give her grace for that because it cost her life. You know, so Toby, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says some of my neighbors look crazy, weird. Them folks, huh? And Negro says, I trust myself and God. That's it. Yeah. Easy says she made a mistake fatally. Yeah, you know, but I don't think she signed up for that. And Deacon, thank you once again for the donation. Says single moms teach their girls to use us for money. Not all single moms teach that. There's a lot of good single moms out there. But yeah, I would say some single moms probably do. But I even heard married older women, I don't know about use, but definitely tell, you know, girls or women, hey, marry a man that got something going on, you know. So I've heard that, but not necessarily use. I've even heard, hey, you'll learn to love them. You know, it's important to be taken care of first, and then you get to you learn to love them. You know, especially back in the day, right? Back in the day, when older men were marrying younger girls and women, even before 18 became like maturity legally. Imagine the younger women and the younger girls that was getting married off the roofers, you know, and she's like, I don't want to be with him. And somebody in her family probably couldn't take care of her, says, well, you'll get to learn to love him. He could take care of you. And so she probably did. So I don't know. Candy, if I didn't already, how you doing? And thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I love and appreciate you for that. Wooly Tress, how you doing? Says OJ doesn't care anymore. You wildin'. Juanita, how you doing? And hello, beautiful, back at you. Guy, okay, talking to Deacon and Complex. You say, do you think she was tricking 19 and going on solo trips to Jamaica? I don't know enough about her to say that she was tricking. And because I don't want to, you know, even try to have that conversation because she's, you know, dearly departed. Your average logical thinker says, what happened to the 12 million you raised? Oh, you crazy. I thought the same thing, Jay Morrison, but you know what? I don't think that's the same Jay Morrison. You crazy. Respect the shooter media. How you doing? It says young black woman, 19 years old, going on a date with a raggedy white dude. Sad. Yeah, and it's like, did he show up to the date looking like that? I don't just wonder because he, like I can say, he looked like the offspring of Michael Myers. It's like if he would have showed up to the date looking like that, I'd be like, no, my name is Glodadine. He got the wrong person. Robert, he says they keep erasing this, but black women should have the strap in her purse or somewhere on her just in case when dating the other color. Just, how am I not going? You know, have somebody go with you, especially on the first date. Have somebody go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna meet you, but I'm gonna bring my brother with me. You know, or a good friend. Or somebody I'm not coming by myself, and you please feel free to bring somebody too, so we can, because that's what they do in the nation, right? When they're courting, they have chaperones. They don't just go by themselves. They have chaperones that may be sitting at another table or something, but they're never alone. So no other stuff other than getting to know each other transpires, right? So I think that's actually a good idea. Hey, friend, can you go with me? I'm interested in meeting this guy. I don't want to go alone. You tell the guy, listen, I'm bringing my friend. Bring your friend too. And that way, it's kind of like if some shenanigans are going to go on, it ain't going to go on with just me, you know? So, yeah. And Toby says Caitlin Clark and her team were on SNL. They didn't win. Yeah, I saw that. But, you know, it's white media, white people. I know there's some black, look like some black girls or women on that team, but it's a white woman, white media, and they celebrate them. You know, she happens to be very good from what I understand. She didn't win, but, you know, she did win. If you really, truly think about it, she white. You know what I'm saying? That's what you call white privilege. Now, I'm not saying that, but to them, all she needs to be is white. Now, she can ball too. I don't want to take that from her, but she's white. That's all she needs to be, a white woman that's, you know, can do something. A white woman can jump, you know, and they're going to celebrate her. So we can celebrate our own people on the media that we have. Oh, we don't really have no media, do we? So, yeah. All right, let me go on down to the bottom because I know I'm behind. Let's see. Pop says sometimes there is a high price to be paid being on an anti-black male divester. But was she that? Is there any proof that she was that? I'm just asking. Are we just speculating? Queen says, what if he dismembered her while she was alive? Yeah. You know, Deacon says, yes, ma'am. I grew up watching this to be taught to my sisters. Yeah, I'm not saying it don't happen, but I don't think that's the norm. Jay Bubba, if I didn't already, how you doing? Says she works. So he works in a restaurant, yet we have to, you know what? We have to make 6 figures, be 6 feet, and spend $1,300 for them on the first date. I don't know about them. Me, no. And I know there's some, you know, silly sisters out there on that nonsense or whatever, but yeah. I am chosen says, y'all black women, who is y'all now? Y'all black women devalue yourselves. I guarantee y'all was told to do right, but you chose to do what you want. There's a reaction to every action. The choice is yours. Choose right. Well, when you say y'all, I take exception to that because you include me and my ladies here in that, and ain't none of us on that. So maybe it's the black women, you know, I don't know. And as I always say, you might need to find another watering hole to drink from. You know, if the well that you drinking from got women in there like that, then that ain't their problem. That's your problem because you keep choosing to be around them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else, but, you know, as I always say, too, to my good friend Donovan, who is not here, you know, we worry about the women. Y'all worry about the men because when you point the fingers at us, y'all acting like y'all ain't got nothing going on. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on, too, that needs attention. Deacon says, growing up with a bitter black mom is worse than hell. So there is the issue. So it's not, and I don't know if you're saying that was true for you, but that deserves a conversation. You know, if you feel like your mom was like that, so I can see how you as a man would have those ideologies about black women because your first teacher, the woman who was in your circle of influence, you felt a way about her. Maybe she deserved it. I don't know. So I get that correlation. Got you. Toby says, don't go to people's houses. Absolutely. Especially if I don't know you, right? I'm not going up in your house. All right. Let me skip down a little bit. I see our comments, but I want to catch up. And Squall Leonhardt, am I saying that right? Lionheart, and forgive me, says y'all need to calm it down with the victim blaming. Yeah, like what's really going on with that? It is immature, you know, because how do we get to a solution? We're saying that's what you get and all that. And Guy Social says teach your daughter to be women, too feminine, 3 to be somebody's wife. I totally agree with that. And for you fellas, hold on, teach your sons to be men, to be masculine, and to be somebody's husband. I got you on the women part. I definitely agree we need to be teaching that. I had a conversation with a young lady just the other day. Spent an hour and a half on the phone with her, telling her, because she was under the impression that being feminine was, oh, I do my hair and I dress this way. I said, that don't make you feminine. What makes you feminine is what comes out of your mouth, what comes out of your mind, your behavior. How do you act towards yourself? How do you act toward men? And I said, if you were never with another man ever again, that should not stop you from being feminine. Feminine it's not like a switch, right? Oh, I'm with a man now, I'm gonna be feminine. Then when I'm not, I'm gonna be masculine. I don't know. You should always be walking in your femininity as a woman, just like as a man. You should always be walking in your masculinity. So I agree with you. Respect the shooter says, yeah, whatever. Okay. Let's see here. Deacon, thank you once again. Says, can a deacon be honest with this topic? Yeah, we want you to be honest. We don't want you to lie. Lady Diana, how you doing? I did have a great birthday. Thank you so much. And Common Man, how you doing? Yes, 19 is a baby. You know, think about, like I said, when we were 19. Hey, Monet, I hope you're doing well. Black Cougar says, my son, ex-husband, brother, uncle, nephew, cousins, father are all black men. Love them. To all of them. Yeah, we know we love black men. Unpopular, how you doing? It says 19 is an adult. Yes, chronologically, but maturity-wise, I'm 53. So somebody 19 to me is a kid, okay? I know when I was 19, looking back, I was a kid. I had moved out of my mom's house when I was 19. I was still, a kid. I was figuring out a lot of stuff when I was 19. So to say you're 19 and adult, yeah, I get it. But you still got a lot of learning to do, Tasha, how you doing? He says he looks crazy as hell. What was wrong with her? Let's be real. How many FBA black serial killers are lurking around? Yeah, abusive boyfriends and husbands. There's been some black serial killers that has, but we know that predominantly is them folks, that's going around serial killing. But there's been some black male serial killers, and I would imagine there's been some black women, serial killing. So, yeah. And Lady Diana says, not true about single mothers. Yeah, you know how it goes, right? Alonzo says, see, that's the integration. Again, we become just like them folks in too many ways. Free love, lucky the first night you used to date a black girl for a long time before you got there. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's like, we've known each other for 5 minutes, haven't we? All right, I think you're good. Yeah. Back then, it was like, I don't think so. You nasty, Deacon, he says, no one loves or respect the lame, hard black, a working black man in the hoods of black America. That's not true. No one is mean that you're dealing in absolutes, which means all. So we know that's not true. And I get it. Like I said, I'm learning a little bit more about you. So I get why you would shape that, your opinion that way. Jay says, you never go into people's home. Okay. He says, anyone. All right. Unpopular says, when dating anyone. Okay. And GP says, have to go because I'm about to go hit the gym, edit my upload for tomorrow, then see my 67-year-old friend with benefits. I'll catch the stream some other time. All right. Well, you be safe out there. Don't slip and fall on the Bengay. Brooklyn Bandit, how you doing? He says, we have to be damn near perfect, but a white dude could be dusty and broke and still get praise. I mean, I guess, but that's true for a lot of women who date brothers and other people. Like I said, dating a white man would never be my preference. But I think that just has a lot to do with whether you're a man or a woman, because men date dusties too, just not having enough self-esteem to say, well, you're good looking, but you ain't for me. You for her or for him, but you ain't for me. So I don't know. But yeah, I would concede that there are some cases where the white man, all he has to do is be mediocre, and the sister is like, oh, and that's true for black men who date white women. I even heard Spike Lee say it. He was on Arsenio, I think it was. And he says, yeah. Says when you see white men with black women, they be the finest black women you will ever see. He says when the brothers be with the white women, he called them muglies. That's what that was his word. He said they mugly. He said they be the white women that even the white men don't want. So it's kind of true on both sides. Angela says a lot of men are dangerous regardless of their race. Yeah. Dangerous women too, and I'm giving both sides of conversation because that's just the type of person I am. I don't believe it's all of one person. I think everybody, men and women, each have issues, right? So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Deacon says in the 90s, black women wouldn't entertain a white boy, let alone sleep with him. That was an insult. Yeah, they would. I think we're seeing it more so now. But yeah, we would see it. I mean, we got people walking around here in their 60s and 70s that are the result of a interracial relationship. So we know that it has happened. Easy, you say you disagree that it is racial. I mean, it could be. We might learn something else about him, that he just hates black women. We might, you know. I'm just saying, yeah, well, I need to have somebody follow you or just be upfront. My homie coming with me. He coming with me. She coming with me. And, you know, we're going to get to know each other, all of us. That's just what time we on, right? Bobby, how you doing? Says, no amount of money could get me to love and procreate with a devil. Oh, Lord, tell us how you really feel. Robert says, I was making that statement towards our sisters who are not in the nation of Islam who date white men. Okay, gotcha. And I need to catch up. I'm sorry about that. And Blue Exodus, how you doing? You say, wow. Deacon says, black women of today want the will to do whatever they want to do. This is why relationships suck in the community. Yeah. You know, when you're with somebody, you have to be considerate of that other person too. You shouldn't really be talking about, I'm going to do what I want to do. Don't tell me what to do. Because then you might as well just be single, right? Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, you do have to consider the other person. And Shar, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says, Nation of Islam aren't the only black women that don't date white men. I totally agree with you. There's a lot of sisters that don't date white men. And 48 TCO, how you doing? It says, yes, there is nothing like an angry, bitter black woman. Oh God, y'all tripping today. I'm a Wally. How you doing? It says, I have heard YouTubers try to say that this white guy was a psychopath. Oh, then what was all of those white slave masters and white mobs that lynched black folks that committed all those atrocities? Psychopaths. OG, how you doing? Peace unto you as well. Says, seems like a lot of my brothers. Okay. And Freddie, how you doing? Damon says, throwing back some RC Cola, 32 GOAT. You know, I know I'm behind. The Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? Common Man says, y'all means to tell me, y'all means me too. Got you. That's kind of the kettle calling the pot black, ain't it? So you're responding to I am, I think what his name was. Angela says, there are some bitter black men in this chat. Bobby says, sisters, when will y'all learn? I'll get down to these comments and I can give it a better conversation. Tony, how you doing? No reparations, no vote. What's going on with you? Omar Wallace says, black sisters learn from this. Stick to your own. Benito, how you doing? Says Demetri K. Greetings, my ebony queen. Well, thank you. Regarding your African diaspora news video, not all Latin American countries discriminate against their black population. It's more of a classism society. Got you. So you're talking about the one that came out today. Well, I was just kind of, giving a conversation to the Latina woman who said it. So that's all that was. But welcome. Deacon says, I blame you. What? We don't use that word on here. Maurice, how you doing? Says Vegas checking in. I was just there. Facts Not Feeling says the black woman girl had no business creeping with that white dude. They celebrated white, so deal with it. No. Thank you, Benito. You know what? Y'all making me feel good today. I told you I hurt myself today when I was running. I pulled my right gluteus maximus somehow in that area, and it hurts. Like I'm wobbling when I walk. It's crazy. Hopefully I'm better tomorrow. Dwayne, how you doing? And let's see. Negro says growing number of black serial killers. Yikes. Unpopular says, and there's been black men killing their wives and girlfriends on random women too. You don't have to be a serial killer to kill. Absolutely correct. Let's skip down. Common Man says, oh, you're live. My bad. You didn't know I was live? I'm live. Robert says, I ain't gonna lie, 19-year-old back in the day looked older and more mature than 19-year-olds of today. You think so? All right, JJ. Yeah, he says black church members are acting freaky as hell as well. Oh, they've been doing that. And 48 says, Demetri, are you looking absolutely gorgeous? Well, thank you. I love and appreciate you for that. Tara Toy, how you doing? Says European men are odd, and we know as Americans not to be with white men, honestly. That is true. Money Green, how you doing? Says, show the white man's face like they do us. Well, I showed the video, and they showed his face, and he is a grisly looking dude. Like I said, he looked like he related to Michael Myers. I would see him on the street and be scared. I would. That he would just give me the creeps. So I'm not sure what she saw in him, and she thought, I'll go back to his place. Or then I don't know. Was she drugged when they went somewhere else? And he took her there against her will. So there's a lot of things we just don't know. Like, how did she even get there? Maybe she didn't go on her own to his place. because they said her phone was there for about 3 hours. You know, they showed, I guess, from the pinging or whatever, and then the next time it was moved. So it sounds like she was there for 3 hours. So she might not even gone on her own free will. So Percy, how you doing? Our Negro says, can we stop using the term dusty, y'all? It's so degrading. Somebody else used that. I didn't use the term. I just kind of spoke to it. Facts Not Feeling says, many working class Black women don't respect working class Black men. I see it every day. Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. John, how are you doing? Damon says, what's a better term? Oh, so you're talking to somebody else? I'm not turning this around, Facts Not Feeling, but I'm just saying, I didn't want to talk about this to, say she was a bad human and to talk about people who date interracially. Because like I said, I think people should be able to do that and live to tell about it. You know what I mean? Because honestly, it could have been anybody. Deacon says, currently the choice is thugs, studs, crackers, sugar daddies to get rent paid. Oh my God. What kind of women? I need to ask y'all, what kind of women y'all dealing with and where y'all meeting these women? Now I know somebody gonna say, I meet professional women. Now I'm not saying the professional women don't do it too, but where y'all meeting these women at? And how y'all don't know all this about these women before y'all have these horror stories? I'm just asking. L Maxwell, how you doing? It says, if your mama was a witch, get over it. You grown. It's your responsibility to raise yourself up more. Never stop raising, G. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave that as it is. Facts Not Feeling says, nonsense. A lot of men are not dangerous. No excuses. Alonzo says, wait a minute. Black women here, FBA, are usually pretty choicey. Yeah, that narrative that, Black women just out there just risking it all for zaddies. That's some, not all. Amma Wallace says, yeah, and Jonathan Major showed us what happens to Black men that date white women. I'm going to let that stand on its own. I'm just going to let it stand. Common Man says serial killers can be traced back to Jack the Ripper, 1700s. Yep. There's only been about 2 in our history. Think about that. I think there's been a little bit more. Because John Lee Malvo and his stepson, I think it was, they consider him to be a serial killer. He went around the DC sniper. So they did consider him to be a serial killer as well. So there's actually been more than 2. I just don't can't think of them off the top of my head. There was a Black man not too long ago. I think they said they found like 70 remains of humans in his yard. It was like maybe 5 years or so ago. I don't know his name, but there's been quite a few. Jay says there could be OJ retaliation and do tell. MC Fact, how you doing? Says Tiger Woods and OJ definitely went below their level status with the white women they got with. I'm just gonna read that and just keep it pushing. Hey, brother Reggie, how you doing? Brother Don, what's going on with you? Poppy says Brittany Renner has the hoes don't impress me. Okay. Quita says the blame game today. I see. Yeah. Dimitri says smart, a woman right here. Yes, indeed. And your average logical thing, it says, I can't wait to see the energy of the chat when Dimitri speaks on sister deleted by a brother. Jay says, don't say at 19-year-old had it coming. Yeah, that's horrible to say that. Herschel, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. And Brian, how you doing? He says it's crazy. And the brother has been depressed and something, it's some word I probably don't know, by the Black woman because of some of our actions by the Black, but the Black woman are looking for financial stability, believing the white man can save them. But that white man is as bad as the brother. They treat their white woman like slaves. So they jump to our sisters and eventually their true colors will come out. Yeah, the sisters that talk about I'm dating a white man because he treats us better is like, y'all might need to study history. Because a lot of them are the descendants of slave masters. And did they treat your ancestors good or well? I think the answer is no. So I don't even know how people come up with that. Or they treat us better than the Black man. It's like, knock it off. Okay? Because most of the time they won't even take you to their family function. And if you go, you're going to be getting the look and all that other stuff. Because they people don't really want him with you, and vice versa. So absolutely. Unpopular says sticking to your race isn't going to guarantee you won't get killed. Yeah, that doesn't even jive. Like, oh, if it was a Black man, he wouldn't have did that to her. It's like, well, how do we know? that's not something I think that even happens every day. Like, it's not normal. I know it happens every day, but it's not normal to where you go out on the first date and end up being dismembered, you know. Deacon said the deacon is very bitter. Yeah, you know, I recommend therapy. And I'm not being facetious. I think therapy helps a lot of people unpack those things, especially if you had a very bad relationship with your mama. Yeah, you might need to go talk to somebody about that so you can unpack those things, because you don't want to take those sentiments in other relationships, because I tend to believe how a man sees his mama, he also sees the women he deals with. Now, he may not realize that, but I've seen that play out in a lot of cases. Just saying. Jay says, I would never go back to the Dominican Republic. Well, do tell. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. An African Osarinko, and I know I jacked it up. How are you doing? It says black men and women should stay amongst themselves and leave the male behind. The Most High didn't intend for us to integrate with those demons. Totally agree with you. Biggs, Marley, how you doing? Say, stop it. Stop what? Brooklyn Bandit says, no matter what the circumstances are, I'm not celebrating a sister demise. I love my sister. Yeah. And yeah, that is awful to celebrate. That is just crazy. Robert said, yeah, look at Ricky's girlfriend on Boys in the Hood. The dark one, she was only 15 playing that role. Really? I did not know that. Pop says, you own something today. I don't know what it is. Bobby says, as y'all say, love is love. I don't agree with that. Love is love, because a lot of times it's not really love. It's lust or something else, right? But yeah. Jay, you crazy, talking about if you dusty, you dusty. Facts Now Phyllis says, notice how the black women in the comment section who creeping with Zaddy trying to change the subject by saying, well, black men delete their wives and girlfriends. I haven't seen anybody in here say they creeping with Zaddy. See, that's probably a narrative that you drew. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen anybody say that. Shari says, too many assumptions being made about black women. Right. Slinky Washington, how you doing? Says, can you do another dance video to that X-Clan song? Oh, that was a couple of years ago. You know what? I probably could. I can't do it today, though. Like I said, I pulled my arse muscle, and it really hurts. It even hurts even sitting on it. It's crazy. I don't even know how I did it. I took like 5 steps running, and it just something like pulled or popped, and then I continued to run for the rest of the 2 miles. It wasn't hurting that bad, so maybe I made it worse. I don't know. We'll see. Some don't want me to run for some reason. Joe, how you doing? Says, I want to know, why do we have to associate black men to killing black women with a white man when they kill a black woman, when black men do not have anything to do with it? I agree. It has nothing to do with it at all. But I think this portion of the conversation came from that's what you get for dating a white man. Or if you weren't dating a white man, that wouldn't have happened to you. So that's where that came from. So it wasn't me or anybody else on here saying, oh, well, black men do it too. That kind of came after that narrative was being made in the comment section, if that makes any sense. Let me skip down because I see we starting to get a little heated in here. The Queen says, girl, they're lying. They even dating. Don't nobody want them. And who was that? Oh, Lord. Easy says, here are some stats on state of Wisconsin. 35% of white population identifying German ancestry, pure Aryan state. To those who think race has nothing to do with this case. Yeah. And he looks like he definitely, got some German Aryan blood in him. That wouldn't surprise me if it was racially motivated. Just had no one said anything. Because I was looking to see, okay, what's his deal? But I'm sure we'll learn a little bit more about him and his dealings. And I wouldn't be surprised if something about him being a racist comes out. I would not be. Keisha, how you doing? Said, hey, Demetria. Hey, everyone. Respect is earned. Give what you want to receive and move on quickly. If you're good, will is not reciprocated. Absolutely. Don't stay where you're not appreciated. And Juanita says, you have young black teenage serial killers more than ever. Yeah, doing drive-bys and that kind of stuff. They was even saying it was the rapper, was he in Chicago? Don't get me lying, King Von, I think it was. He's deceased now, but they liken him to a serial killer. They say he killed a lot of people. So, good point. Unpopular says definitely has to be more than 2 black killers. Laughing my ass off. Yeah, absolutely. Let me skip down. Dwayne, he says, it's just sick. Just a sick world we're living in from the beginning. You won't get any respect if you got none for your mate to begin with. And if you find that you don't, shut up and pack your ish. Will help you. All right. Yes, the Atlanta child killer in the 70s, Wayne Williams, sounds like he may not have done it. Sounds like he was framed. And actually it was the 80s. Yeah, Wayne Williams sounds like he might have been framed. Because even the parents of the children that were murdered, they don't think he did it either. They think that he was framed for that. But so somebody's doing it, right? Or somebody did it. They said that they thought it could have been the Klan and, a lot of other people other than Wayne Williams. So, but yeah, I am familiar with that case. Deacon says they Christians on Sunday and what? And prostitutes on Monday through Saturday negotiating. Y'all wild. And see, the problem is this. Like I said, we all need therapy, but we cannot espouse those things on all Black women. I get it. You had a cantankerous relationship with your mama, and that definitely does shape how boys feel about women. I firmly believe that, but somehow you got to unpack that so you don't espouse all of that on all Black women, because I don't go to church, never been a prostitute, and I don't know any woman that's been a prostitute. Now, I know you're probably talking from terms of I need money from a man, but, as my daddy, who is 80 years old, so I think he's probably been on this planet a lot longer than a lot of us, he says ain't no romance without the finance. See, the problem is this, though, and I'm going to say this, and I hope I don't get in trouble, but I'm going to say what I need to say. Unfortunately, Black women are expected to endure struggle love, right? If she asks something of her man, hey, can you take care of me? She's considered to be a gold digger. But the other women that's running around this planet with their man, they're not considered a gold digger. And there's a lot of women in other races, they're like, I know he got to have some money. And that man know that. He know he got to have some money to take her hand in marriage. That's just known with a lot of other races. But with Black women, it's like, oh, well, she wants you to do this, that, and the other. Yeah, brother, I'm asking, can you keep a roof over my head, the lights on, water flowing, and some hot water for my ass? But then I get considered to be a gold digger. I'm supposed to endure this, that, and the other. So, and I get it. I know there's some women out there, oh, he got to be a six-figure. And I get it. But that's not the norm. But I think it's unfair to put that on Black women for asking a man, hey, you want to take my man and my hand in marriage, okay? You should at least be, she expect, there's nothing wrong with her expecting that man to take care of her. So we got to get those ideologies out of our head. If she asked me for something, she a gold digger. First of all, brother, do you got any gold? I'm just asking. Keisha says, yes, the DC sniper was crazy. It was a crazy time. I was so scared transferring buses in college. Yeah, because they didn't know who it was that was doing that, right? He was doing it out the trunk of his car. Ma'am, how you doing? It says people need to date on their level. We need to have something in common and be equally yoked. Some men just see a woman's body shape and want to date her when she is not interested. They feel rejected. Yeah, you know what you said a word there. That's true for men and women. Date your level. Me and Donovan have this conversation all the time. A lot of men want the Instagram baddies. It's like, well, if you want her, 1,000 other men on her page want her too. And so if you happen to be the one that get her, you probably at the moment are just the highest bidder, right? She want a man obviously to do some things for her, get her in bags and trips and all this other stuff. And if you can't do that, then you bidder. You might start out the gate good. You got your income taxes back and you taking her to Vegas or something, and then you can't continue doing that and she moves on. Well, you knew the job was dangerous before you took it. You knew you was batting out of your league and somehow you got on the field. I don't know. Common Man says she saw a light-skinned baby with good hair in him. That's what she saw. How you know that's what she saw? How you know that's what she saw? So let me skip down. Actually, I'm going to skip all the way down to the bottom, acknowledging everybody that I have not seen so that I could catch up, because I know I'm behind. And Herschel said that was the Black guy from South Central LA that was killing hookers. Yeah, Figueroa a while back. So serial killers are serial killers. Yep. They had a whole bunch of bodies buried in his yard for years. Yeah, me too, Herschel, because I really, really want to start getting out there and running, and that sucks. One who cares, how you doing? Jay says, a Haitian dark-skinned Black woman saved my life in Dominican Republic. Yeah, I was almost smashed up on the DR too. And I think this lady was Dominican that saved my life. They were trying to put me and my daughter in the paddy wagon because they thought we were Haitian. So yeah, I won't be going back there no more. Unpopular said that's true though. Black men do kill Black women more than white men have because it's about proximity. So Black women are more than likely around Black men more. Black women are probably not around white men more. Because if you look at the statistics with white men and white women, that is also true for white men killing white women, Asian men killing Asian women. So it's not a black man thing. That's almost the same trope of black on black crime, but it's not white on white crime, Asian on Asian, and Hispanic on Hispanic. It's just black on black crime is a thing. So to say that black men doing it to black women is a thing, it's no more a thing than it is for everybody else. If that makes any sense. And Alonzo said, love is what it does. We can make our mouth say anything we want. Yeah, I love you, but you just, ate the last piece of chicken last night. That ain't love. Bobby says, bed wench and bed buck, pay attention. It's funny because I was thinking about that term bed wench back in the day. And I honestly think that the other day rather. And I honestly think I don't say it, but I think we should stop saying it because think about what a bed wench was. A bed wench was a slave woman. Now think about that name. Do you think that slave woman wanted to be that bed wench, servicing master? A lot of those bed wenches had husbands per se, because they weren't legally allowed to marry, but they had husbands they had children with, on the plantation. And then master summons her to his bed. She didn't want that title. So I think when we use that word, I think we need to think about the disrespect that is being put on our ancestors, because that is not a title that they own. That was one that was given to them. You know what I mean? So I guess if you find another name, but if we really think of the inception, a bed buck, right? I'm imagining that's a black man that has something done to him against his will. So I think we need to reevaluate those terms, but I can't tell anybody what to do. All right, I'm for real going to skip down for real. Michael M, how you doing? That guy from Texas, how you doing? More threads, what's going on with you? I did enjoy my birthday. Thank you. MC Fact says, Demetri, sounds like you need a deep tissue massage. I do, but it might hurt because it really do hurt. I'm serious, like sitting on it, it really does hurt. And I can't even bend over, and it's horrible. Angela says, black men delete more black women than any other race. I don't think that's true. I don't know for sure, but I'm just trying to. So when we say any other race, are we saying that they delete more black women? Or like, I guess I'm confused with that because I hope y'all heard my explanation just a second ago. Channel Zero, how you doing? Says, thank you, Sister K, for using your platform to speak on this issue. I love to see sisters with your mindset. You are marriage material. Well, thank you so much for that. And welcome. Let's see, one who cares. She says, I'm late. That guy who dismembered that sister had other priors. You must look very deep into who you date, etc. Be safe. Oh, yep, you got to. There ain't no more. He looks good to me. That's like the same thing. Because I went to dental assisting school. Trust me, I wore a lot of hats when I was like 22. I went to 21 dental assisting school. And one of the things I learned there is because, AIDS was kind of still, as it is now, but it was really like people were learning a lot about it then. And we were taught to treat everybody like they have it, right? They said AIDS is universal. Treat everybody like they have it until, or even then, obviously if you're dating somebody, assume they have it until you find out they don't. But they were telling us that as students, like, be careful, wear your gloves, be careful with the needles and all that. You don't poke yourself because that person may have it. So the other thing is true about who we date, trust but verify. MC Facty say, Wayne Williams didn't do it. They had additional missing children after they put him in jail. Yeah. So there's a lot of evidence that's come out to say he didn't do it. And I found out understand the thing is Will Packard, somebody's supposed to be doing a movie documentary on it that discloses a lot of stuff that wasn't talked about it. But again, the parents don't even think he did it. The parents of the children who were harmed, they don't think he did it either. Consuela, how you doing? You say terrible. Judge Dreads, how are you doing? Says leave the devil alone. And that guy from Texas said Troy Davis was framed too. Yes, Troy Davis, if I'm not mistaken, was the brother that he was killed on death row not too long ago. And they were trying to save his life, and they decided not to. They being the Court of Appeals or the governor rather, because they can give him a stay of execution. I do, Common Man. I think I need a massage, but like I said, it might hurt. Miss Sweet, she says, Why are we so divided and conquered? This is ridiculous. You know why? You know why, girl? We divided from the plantation, and we've never. There was a time in Black American history where we weren't after slavery, where we had no choice, right? We Black Wall Streets and before civil rights, we were unified. And of course, we know what happened after that. So a lot of these ideologies they're very slave minded. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to them, because that was forced on them. You got to remember, before they were slaves, they were other things, other noble things, just people, right? So in the institution of slavery, they were taught to be disjointed, to not like each other. The woman was put over the man so she could browbeat him. She was made to feel like, I'm more important than you. You underneath me. And unfortunately, our community, if you want to call that Black America, says we don't have a community. He's right. It's a neighborhood. But our people, I think, is the only race of people that operates more so out of the matriarchy and not the patriarchy. Other races, theirs are more patriarchal, where the man leads, but ours is kind of upside down, where the woman, is, I said what I said. And there's been a lot of argumentation that it shouldn't be that way. So I'm probably saying my dad was right. Yeah, ain't no romance without the finance, but for whatever reason, we get charged with being gold diggers. I don't get that. One who cares is exactly, Demetra. Some women get that title, gold diggers. Like, man, I'm just asking you, can't you buy some groceries? Damn. Now I'm a gold digger because I want to eat. Okay. Judge Joy says the only thing men get out of marriage is the bill. Oh, Lord. Deacon, he says Black men were interracial date because other races of women are nicer than how we grew up and what we currently deal with. That's the only reason why we get along with chicks of other races. I'm going to tell you right now, I know brothers. I know one right now. Y'all know one right now, Walter, who has dated one, and he's still getting his behind whooped in the court behind that. He ain't been with her in almost 20 years. 20 years. So when I hear y'all brothers say they treat y'all better, no, they don't. Because there's he's an African brother, but he's a brother nevertheless. He was taken out of here by a white woman. She shanked him up, and it took them a long time to bring her to justice. So there's a lot of cases where you brothers be out there with them other women, and they see y'all be acting funny. But maybe it's just that particular woman treats you better. But to say other races of women treat y'all better, how another race of woman gonna treat you better? That's not your woman originally. That's a woman you gotta force to understand your point of view. Just like when a sister get with another man that's outside of her race, she don't know him, he don't know her. Now I'm not saying like know my name. You don't know me because you don't come from my same set of circumstances. We don't have the same set of circumstances, especially if I'm a Black woman dating a white man. We are complete opposites, right? I always got to explain stuff to him. And he's got to explain stuff to me. So to say a woman outside of your own woman treats you better, I'm going to call cap on that one, brother. Now, that particular woman might treat you better, but I'll never agree that another man outside of that Black woman treats her better, just like another woman outside of that Black man treats him better. That's not how it works. In fact, a lot of other races, they see us as fetishes, like y'all see, when y'all go to the DR and other places, y'all see them women as fetishes. Y'all don't have no problem giving them money, talking about they nicer to us. Of course, you paying. Duh. But go over there talking about you a gold digger. You just want me to give you money. See how nice they gonna be to you, brother. I'm just saying. All right, now for real, I'm gonna skip all the way down for real, because I know Larry, how you doing? Says, why are we promoting who promoting the prostitution mindset? Who is this we? I'm not promoting that. Secret Garden, where have you been? I don't even really be trying to be funny. But how you doing? Long time no see. CG, how you doing? Good evening to you as well. All right, Arson, how you doing? Says, hey there, finally remembered to catch you on Tuesday. Though late, I was hoping you discussed this poor woman on Sunday. Glad I caught you. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Sunday, I was in Vegas. That's why I wasn't on here. Y'all know if I'm not on here, it's because I'm somewhere, Michael says, love is an action verb, not a feeling. You better tell them again. Pop says, okay, we can call them the willing Bedouins. No, I mean, I'm just saying, if you really know the origins of that word, I don't think you'd be so quick to use that word. That's actually an insult to our ancestors. Again, they did not want to be that. Okay. That was against their will. Things happened to them that they did not want. And that's what they were called. So, Guy said, not all bad witches are forced. Some save themselves for white males. Who? We talking about slaves on the plantation? Where is your proof of that? And were they doing that with white men before they got on the plantation? See, now y'all sounding ridiculous. Now y'all gonna make me come unglued. I don't want to come unglued. Our Negro said, same thing with Dusty. Then they called Jesus Dusty when he was being crucified. They probably did. Juanita says it was a serial killer in Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, there's quite more than two. Judge Dredd says they switch up after about a year and think you broke in. What's that? And Bobby says, I'm for sisters all day. You better believe it. Joey says, you think a lot of these sisters want to be Mr. Cartwright? I don't think that'll ever happen. Who's Cartwright? Maybe I missed something. I'm sorry. Brooklyn say them folks delete their entire family at the same time. Parents, kids, and cousins. Okay. So it's like, what are we talking about here? Poppy says the Atlanta child killings was the Klan. That's what they say. The Klan probably has something to do with it, but they do not think it was Wayne Williams. But yet he's still in jail. You know, it has been the whole time. Deacon says, how come black women know how to choose every single thing in life except their children's father and the good? It's you tripping. Yeah, you need to go on to therapy. You hurry up and go, Deacon. Hurry up. Hallelujah. Amen. Codified Network, how you doing? It says, does anyone not understand statistical geography when it comes to crime? Right. Please stop with black men, delete more black women. Your hypothesis is clearly based off no merit. Yes, it's proximity. It just is. You know, you harm. Like if you live in a house of people you never leave, you're probably more than likely to do something to them because you're closer together, right? Like I don't hang out with white people, so I'm probably not going to be harmed by them, and I'm not going to harm them. But you know, hanging out with your people, yeah, it's a possibility. It's a stronger possibility. Alonzo says Ted Bundy allegedly killed hundreds because white women mostly thought he was good looking. Yeah, I don't know about hundreds, but it's definitely a lot. Yeah, he was the good-looking serial killer. You know, he was very trustworthy. He had that cast on his arm, and you know, he needed help with his groceries. Oh, my groceries are in the back of the van, and the women were smitten by him, so they go lean in there and get the groceries, and he with the cast. And I study serial killers to some degree too, but yeah, Ted Bundy, he caught a lot of women off guard because he was, as they would say, fine. You know. Thank you, Arson. You says happy belated birthday. And the comments is right about you being marriage material. Well, thank you. Says more about the subject. I was wondering why you included OJ in the title because I wanted to talk about him too. And thank you for reminding me. I need to talk about OJ because I had a few people ask me to talk about it. I just wasn't here on Sunday when I probably would have talked about it a little bit. But so we'll talk about it. So let me skip down. Barry, how you doing? Says, so what a woman. He says, so what a woman giving up, Demetra. What is a woman giving up? A woman gives up a whole lot of stuff. You know, I had a baby once, 31 years ago. And for a woman, she gives up her body. I don't know if you've seen some women after they, you know, I don't look like my 21-year-old self before I got pregnant. A woman gives that up, right? Her body is never the same. A woman, if she's a traditional woman, you know, she's staying home. She's taking care of the household. She's making your life easier. Let's not play here. Woman staying home, doing on her square, making sure the household's taken care of, the children's taken care of. All you got to do is go to work, bring home the money, come home to a nice, sweet, loving woman, household, children intact. Everything's, you know, together. That's what a woman does. That's what the man gets. How can you devalue that of a woman? Because a woman that stays at home is much more than just I'm a stay-at-home wife eating bonbons, right? The woman is everything. She's an accountant. She's a doctor. She's a teacher. She's all that, right? She's a comforter, and she a lover. She's a whole lot of things. So, you know, when you think about what a man gets when he gets a woman, and as they say in the nation, settle down to a good choice. Now, whose fault is that? And I'm not saying you, Barry, but I'm just saying in general. This is for men and women. Whose fault is it really that you're not settling down to a good choice? Because a lot of people, men. You settle down to a big booty. Is that a good choice? Or was that just, was she a good choice right now? And then when you see what's behind the booty, then, you kind of feeling the way about it. So if you settle down to a good choice, then you won't have to ask me, not you, I'm just saying in general, What do you get as a man? Same thing for women. As women have gripes about men, man ain't this, that, and the other. Well, who told you not to settle down to a good choice? Who told you to look at him just being this or that, the other? He had a nice car. Back in my day, we called them car hops. Women or girls who liked the man just for his car. She was a car hop. But he was a broke car hop. You didn't know that. He couldn't pay that car note on that BMW that he was riding around. You didn't know that. You didn't know that he was running and hiding the car because it's about to get repossessed. So settle down to a good choice and you'll know what you're getting from that person. But I'm not saying there's not people out there that, hit people over the head and, with technology and stuff. But, we just need to try our best. And I'm not saying we always succeed when we vet people. We try. But, yeah, we can't, trust me. There's a lot of men out there who are with good women and say, oh, do you have a minute? I'll tell you what I'm getting from it. So, or what she's giving up. All right. All right, for real. Let me skip down. Black America says, why do you feel we are separated because of slavery? I say we're separated because of slavery. Maybe I didn't finish that thought. Is because we are still suffering from the results of slavery. Those are things that we have not unlearned, how to be separate. There's Black unity. Like we always cry for Black unity. That's the thing that we have to remind ourselves to be. We don't have unity. We've been taught to be at each other's, throats and you ain't this, you ain't that. And we've been taught that the white man or the white woman is a better fit. We've been taught those things and we just have not unlearned those things. We need to unlearn those things, if that makes any sense. Woo Child, how you doing? That's the name, Woo Child. He says a lot of these Black men who are speaking negatively about Black women, you choose her and you didn't feel you deserve better. I let my ex-husband leave. He still damn cheated to case by case situations. I should have just read your comment. I should have. Yeah, easy. We're confused. It doesn't need to be that way. Ashley, I said, how you doing? I already said that's dumb. What's dumb? And Toby says, y'all know Clarence Thomas getting beat down. He talk about by his wife. What's her name? Jenny, or I don't know that lady name, but yeah. Yeah, she definitely sounded like she wearing the pants, right? She was all helping out with the insurrection and all kind of stuff. So yeah, he don't sound like he got a whole lot of say so in that household. Deacon says they say good morning. You say the white women say good morning. I'm a Black woman. I say good morning all the time to people, or hi, how you doing? So I'm just saying. Barry says, well, Donovan pays pretty good himself. Hey, that's what you tell y'all. He go over there to the DR. I don't know what Donovan does. Deacon says all about the attitude. I know a lot of Black women with some great attitudes. I know some white women with some funky attitudes, some, Mexican women with funky attitudes too, Asian women with that. So it's not just a Black woman thing. It's the woman, but yeah. Jay says the Dominican women wanted her pay. You better believe it. She going home to her husband too. He like, what did you get? How much did you make today? And the other thing too is this. Come on, y'all. Let's put on our thinking caps. Y'all remember we were in grade school and they told us to put on our thinking caps. Okay, y'all ready? Let's think. If that woman that belongs to another race is a really good woman, why is she single? Why is she single until you went over there, wherever you go, to be with her? Why hasn't some good Dominican man or what other man just slapped her up if she's such a great catch? I want to see what you guys say in the comment section. Alonzo says, I don't agree that Black women cause Black men to flee. I think you have to be the man enough to master that. Not her though. Okay. We're getting to OJ. We're getting to OJ. I promise. Let me just skip down because we're gonna be talking about this forever. God Nasir, how you doing? Says he probably did this a few times. Bet some more bodies will pop up. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. It's a matter of time. Thank you, Deacon. Once again, love and appreciate you. He says, Mr. Mitra, I'll marry you all day, every day. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Mabby says Black women in the U.S. murder 6 times more than white women. Columbia University study. Okay. So is that just by Black men or is it by everybody? if you don't mind me asking. Nora says, I hear a lot of hurt and pain in this chat from the guys. Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. I get it. Some people, they have a hurtful childhood and they just need to unpack those things. Common Man says, and thank you so much for the donation. He says, black men were never put over the black men were never put over the black man. Sad Demetri, that's why the black man in America has constitutional right to vote. It's law. Black women have the ability to vote like immigrants. Yeah, so I agree. Black men can always vote. There were more black men in 1870 in Congress and things like that than there are now. So you're absolutely right about that. But I think, did you mean maybe black women? Is that what you meant at the beginning? What I mean by that is the black woman was put over the black man, especially on the plantation, to browbeat him, to make him subservient to her, to take his masculinity. That's what I mean by that. And sometimes we still see that in our communities. And Poppy says, my old neighbor sat in Ted Bundy's car, then died in a car crash on the way home from seeing that car. Oh my God. God Not Serious says those people still won't let OJ rip. Yep, we're going to get into it. I promise you right now. Let me just skip on down. Y'all got a lot to say. Yes, Corey, 19 is still a baby. Gorella, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says everything that glitters ain't gold. My mom used to say that all the time. Oh my gosh, she used to say that all the time, which means make sure it's gold before you be running around talking about I found me some gold. Woo Child says, oops, did it skip up? Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Man, y'all got a lot to say. It says in a relationship, men should lead a woman, should allow that man to lead. It does not mean she is to be a trampoline. After communication is a big key in relationships and marriages, more so respect. Yeah, absolutely. People need to learn what that actually means, right? Okay, and Shan, how you doing? Says it feels normal to go at each other's throats. Yeah, and why is that? It's almost like it's more easier. It's better. It feels better to be negative than positive. I don't know why that is, although it's better to be positive, right? Guy Social said it's possible for a woman of another race to treat a black man like a king. Yeah, it is. I'm not saying it's not, but to say that they treat black men better than black women, nah. He says, according to Stats, California leads nation with the most serial killers with 1,777, Illinois fourth with 680, but Wisconsin not on list, but next door is to Illinois. That's crazy. I ain't know I was living with so many serial killers in California. Oh my God. Do the math. How you doing? He says, date. You know what? I ain't gonna read that. Okay. I'm just trying to see if anybody else can. I'm just asking, see if anybody answered that question. Jay said the Dominican woman told me I was handsome and opened her hand, and you gave her money. Is that what happened? I bet. Brooklyn says I wouldn't say husbands, they have pimps. All right. I'm just asking. Negro says, why is a woman to be had or conquered? Yeah, ask them that, not me. Joey says Miss Cartwright was the wife of Willie Cartwright in the movie The Family that praised. 2008 Tyler Perry. All right, okay, let's get into it because Lord knows we need to talk about OJ. Okay, so y'all know, Fat Man, how you doing? Says when in doubt, cock out. Anyway. As you guys know, I think it was Thursday that OJ Simpson, Orenthal James Simpson, passed away at the age of 76. It was discovered that he had cancer, although there was some speculation about it a year ago that he had cancer, but he was denying that he had cancer. And so obviously it panned out to be true. Of course, you guys know that OJ, even before the trial of the century in 1995, had his own accolades. He was a Heisman Trophy winner. He played for USC. He went on to be drafted by the Buffalo Bills. I think it was 1969. Played 11 seasons with them. And he's considered to be one of the best running backs of all time. Of course, we know that he was an actor. I remember him mostly from the Hertz commercials. You guys remember him running through the airport. He's, through the Hertz. I guess maybe he's getting a rental car. I don't even really remember why he was running, but he was, and it had something to do with the Hertz rental car. He played in the copious amount of movies. Roots was one of them. He played in, what's the name of that? the movie, it was an Airplane series. Was it Airplane? I think that was the name of the movie, Airplane. But he was an actor as well. But then, you know, isn't this funny? It just really kind of struck me. But I don't want to, you know, disrespect OJ, but it just kind of struck me. We talking about how, you know, when y'all was how black women is, you know, the white woman treats you better and this, that, and the other. Anyway, OJ married Nicole Brown. Not sure when he married her, but he had a black wife, Margaret, I think her name was, and they were together in college, maybe even high school. I think they know each other in high school. They were together. And I think it's fair to say that she doesn't get a lot of conversation, as she should, right? Because she was with OJ before he was the juice, right? They had two children together, and you know, she was the woman behind the man, per se. And then he cheated on her and got with Nicole. And I should say that even Margaret was there at the trial, you know, when all that was going on, when he was accused of killing Nicole and Ron Goldman. So, of course, in 1994, it was alleged that he had did those things to Nicole and Ron Goldman, who was her friend. That's what they're saying. Sounds like he was a waiter at one of the restaurants, and then he went home with her, and OJ was accused of, you know, that to her. Of course, the trial of the century took place in 1995. I think all of us were glued to the television as that trial was going on. Of course, we got to see the masterful late Johnny Cochran. He took mastery in that courtroom. Of course, the infamous, if you will, I know infamous is a good term, but F. Lee Bailey, he was considered one of the best attorneys in the United States and maybe the world, right? He had Robert Kardashian, and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember. It'll come to me. I'm sure you guys will put it in there. But he had the dream team. That's what they called him. He had the dream team assembled to get him acquitted, and they did get him acquitted. Of course, I talked about the story. I did a video. The African Diaspora News Channel is not out yet. I think it's come out tomorrow. But I remember exactly where I was. I remember where I was when the verdict was coming out. I was going to an orientation at my new job at Frito-Lay. Y'all know I talk about that a lot, working at Frito-Lay. As I'm going to an orientation, I was sitting on the freeway, getting ready to turn on to the on-ramp to go to the job. And I'm listening to KFI 590, right? KFI. And, you know, they were going to announce the verdict. I'm sitting there at the light in the first car. And they say, you know, OJ's not guilty. And you can see different reactions in different cars of people hearing that news. So, of course, when they did the split screen of black people and white people, black people were celebratory, right? Yeah, you're not guilty. Then white people, they were slumped over. They were crying. They were, you know, that kind of stuff. So it just kind of, you know, spoke to the nature of the country, right? White people wanted OJ to pay for what they thought that he did to a white woman and a white man. Some people say he got away with it. He got off. Nevertheless, he was acquitted, found not guilty. But I think a lot of people were ebullient, happy, if you will, about the decision, black people, because it was rare that we see one of ours. Now, I know I'm going to use that term loosely because OJ, for a time, has stopped being one of ours, per se, because, you know, he liked the white people. But it was refreshing in a way to see somebody, one of us, get off, if you will, found not guilty for doing something to them, when we have seen throughout history, even before then, white people, you know, Emmett Till situation and just a whole bunch of, we could be here forever, right? Of them harming us and admitting that they did it. And what jury says, well, they're not guilty, right? They get away with it. So a lot of us were just like, yeah, about time, you know. And then OJ went and got him another white woman that looked just like Nicole. A couple years later, I think it was 2007, he got himself in trouble because a memorabilia dealer had a lot of his stuff. How he got it, I don't even remember, but he got it. So he took his homies with him to retrieve the stuff. And then he got roped up on 13 charges, and he was found guilty of all 13 charges. Kidnapping, armed robbery were some of the charges. And so he was sentenced to 9 to 33 years. And he did 9 years. He was paroled out or whatever. So a lot of people said that he found guilty on all those as vindication for getting off, if you will, for what happened with Nicole and Ron. But it seems like after he got out, he kind of piped down a little bit. And I just learned that he was on Cameron and Mace's show. I didn't know that he was a regular contributor on the show as a football expert during football season. And they said he was really funny and, you know, obviously he's expert, right? He played football. But as I think about OJ, I think, well, what is actually going to be his legacy? Because as y'all said, them folks really acting up, right? We saw Caitlyn Jenner, a.k.a. Bruce Jenner. You know, he said good riddance. And, of course, they dragged Shim from here to there and everywhere, you know, because it is speculated, and I don't want to gossip, that Chloe could be maybe the offspring of OJ. I don't know. One of the Kardashians, right? But, you know, it was rumored that Kris Jenner, which was Bruce Jenner's, Caitlyn Jenner's ex-wife, that she might have had a little dealings with OJ. I don't know. It's probably rumors. Who knows? But nevertheless, when Caitlyn was Bruce, he was hanging out with OJ, you know, but then they also said that Caitlyn Jenner ran over somebody and killed them not too long ago. And they was like, wait a minute now. You talk about good riddance, though, OJ, but you ran over and killed somebody. And you got away with it. You still out here free, you know, dressing up in women's shoes and panties and stuff. And ain't nobody saying nothing to you. But Caitlyn is not the only one. It seems like it was back in 1995, right? Where Black people were defending OJ, sticking up for OJ, and white people are like, you know, they hate OJ. And it's also said that Ron Goldman's family, now they're still trying to go after OJ's estate. It says that he owes them $117 million because they want a civil suit against him. So criminal, civil is different. Criminal has a lower preponderance, I guess, of the evidence, if you will. So he was found civilly liable for the death of Ron Goldman, and he was ordered to pay them like $33 million. So I guess with interest and all of that, it comes out to $117 million. So they're going to go after it. Originally, it sounds like the lawyer for representing OJ's estate says, well, no, they're not going to get it. But now it sounds like maybe he might be trying to cooperate. I don't know. But nevertheless, you know, that's an issue. So I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think OJ's final legacy would be? I thought about it, but I haven't come up to a conclusion, but I just want to see. Dress up in women's panties. That's Caitlyn. But what do y'all think his legacy will be? So I'm going to go to the comments and see what y'all said. And I wish I could have shared the link, but a lot of times when I'm on here by myself, just in case I glitch out, you know, I don't want to leave y'all stuck up here. So, all right, let's see what y'all have to say. Cuba Dave, how you doing? Keisha, you said he was glued to the TV. Oh yeah, everybody was glued to the TV. Beverly, if I didn't already, how you doing? He says, rest in peace, OJ Simpson. Yeah, you say Diddy ain't special, fat man. Okay. Yes, of course. The infamous glove scene. If it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Johnny Cochran, boy, there'll never be another person like him, because he actually loved Black people. Y'all know also that Johnny Cochran was spearheading the reparations movement in the 90s. So Johnny Cochran went in there and he made Marsha Clark and them regret that. And plus, there was a whole lot of other stuff going on. Mark Furman, an officer, you know, he was a big time racist, got caught using the N-word. Said the vial of OJ's blood that they drew from him had several ounces, I guess that's what it was, missing from the vial. So they said that Mark Furman could have gotten a hold of him and, you know, dropped the blood everywhere. And it was just a lot of doubt, you know, because a Capital One murder case, because he was facing the death penalty. There cannot be any doubt. And Johnny Cochran did a masterful job of planting doubt. The glove doesn't fit. There's blood missing from this vial. You guys are saying that OJ did it. Well, this looks like it might have been two people that did it, you know, and so he raised a lot of doubt. It's a crime of passion. Does a person take knives with them? If it's a crime of passion means it was just like blind fury, like, you don't just, you know, take some, you know, samurai swords about your back during a crime of passion. Crime of passion is like an impromptu type of thing, if it makes any sense. So, you know, RIP to Johnny Cochran as well. Robert says, role reversal is the enemy to Black happiness. We will never get ahead with this trick of white people in the government. Yeah. Kimberly, how you doing? Says they had 3 kids together. They had 3 kids. I thought they had 2. Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm talking about his first wife. Okay. Oh yeah, because I'm thinking of Nicole. So okay, so they had 3 children together. Margaret, I think that's her name. Okay, got you. Let's see here. They move down, and your average logical thing, it says my granny was so mad the trial cut into her stories. Yeah, it did. It had everybody on glued. Let's see. Miss Sweets, you say, let's hear it, fellas. Should OJ Simpson stuck to his own kind? Oh my Lord. I thought we had moved past that. Barry Sheck. Was Barry Sheck one of them? It would seem like it was somebody else that was there. I can't think of it. I know F. Lee Bailey was there, F. Lee Bailey, but was it Barry Sheck? Bobby says, sister, when will y'all learn? Right when y'all teach us. Brooklyn says Nicole and her lover Goldman was known drug addicts and on. That was the other story that was out there too. That was doubt, right? That Nicole had some other stuff going on. Was it a drug debt, vendetta, something like that? Guy, you say Johnny Cochran is the best lawyer, black, white. There's no argument for me with you on that. Quita says I sure believe OJ did it. You believe he did it? I don't know. I'm with Johnny Cochran. There was a lot of doubt. There's a lot of doubt that whether he did it or not. So, yeah, Chris Darden was there on the other side with the prosecution with Marsha Clark, and they ended up dating. I don't know if they was dating during a trial, but they ended up dating. Weird. He said he loved Frito-Lay chips. Yeah, I do too. They ain't good for you though, but I eat them every once in a while. Common man, thank you so much. He says, OJ and me had the same agent when I was in showbiz. OJ didn't kill that woman, Nicole. Nicole was screwing everybody in Hollywood. First wife cheated on him, not the other way around. I heard it was the other way around, but I don't know everything. It could be wrong. And CG, you say you were in 8th grade. Yeah, I was 21 years old. No, wait a minute. I'm lying. I wasn't 21. I was 24. I was 24. Negro says Nicole was so masculine looking though. Hey, you said it, I didn't. Quita says I remember when I was he started the slow speed chase. He had that Bronco, right? The infamous Bronco scene. And the white Bronco, what was it? AC Cowlings? Is that who it was that was with him? Hold on a second. He was with him driving, and was he supposed to be like trying to unalive himself? Is that what OJ was doing? And because they had the helicopter and everything follow him, it was just like iconic, right? And then everybody was more or less like, "Oh, he did it. He's guilty. He's running," and then the man gets acquitted. It was shocking. I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked. I just knew for sure that they were gonna find him guilty. Again, he was looking at the death penalty. One Who Cares says, I was a nanny for a white family who the wife was an attorney. I got sent home early. I bet you did. Because, they probably want to freely use the N-word with you not being there, right? How dare them? And white people loved OJ. They loved OJ. They called him the mayor of Brentwood. Brentwood was, is a very ritzy part of, was it Beverly Hills, somewhere around there. Very nice white part of town, and they called him the mayor of Brentwood because everybody loved OJ, until that day, right? And it was said that he couldn't even get in the restaurants when he was acquitted. They was like, "Your kind is not welcome here." Yes, indeed. Let's see. Skip down, and Brother Samuel says OJ is one of the first black men that white people had put up to be the fall guy and defeated. Right. This let white America know the system was falling apart. Yeah, because up until then, the system was nothing wrong with the justice system. It's fine. It's working just fine. But then he get off. It's like, no, justice wasn't served. It's like, oh, it wasn't served because a black man benefited from it, huh? Because we know, right, Brother Samuel? That's not how it's written. It's not written for black people to benefit from the injustice system. It's to benefit them. But it worked that time, and they didn't like it. You crazy, CG. Mama named him Bruce. I'm going to call him Bruce. All right, let me skip down because I got behind again. Nora says OJ was the first. You crazy, Jonathan Majors. The average logical thinker says a lot of folks don't think he did it, but think he knows who did it. Yeah, that could be a possibility. I don't know. Yeah, the dream team. That's what they called him. He paid a lot for that dream team, but guess what? It paid off. Empress Tao, says the one who got justice in the United States of America. Absolutely. Keisha says, I was heartbroken to hear of OJ's passing. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, he did what? Because he always just seemed like he was so full of life, but indeed he had cancer. And it sounds like they said he made people sign NDAs, his family and stuff, to not say nothing about it. So, yeah. All right. And Shan says Pablo also lived around the corner from Nicole. And who the hell is Pablo? Oh, Pablo Escobar? For real? Roz, how you doing? Says Furman should have been locked up. Yeah, he obviously was fired and stuff. But, Fox News swooped him up and made him a news anchor and all of that. So, he found his people. But he was a big-time liar. Brother Simon says Dick Clark talked about the execution style of the murder of OJ. Execution style, rather, of the murder of OJ couldn't have possibly done. Yeah, I agree. It's like, and then they said Ron was he like a black belt or something like that? So, or judo. So he wasn't like no wimp, right? And so for him to do that to both of them, it's kind of speculated that it had to be two. But I know what you're saying about Dick Gregory. He said it was possibly drug or mafia related. Is that what you're talking about? Mike Knight says Mark Furman took the fifth on the stand. Yeah, but Johnny Cochran was like, well, we'll speak for you. How about that? Isn't it true that you've used the N-word freely before? And that you've been caught being very racist? Yes. Marjorie is the first wife's name. Yes, that is her. Common Man says, it was 4 people who did it. Yeah, it could be Shapiro. Robert Shapiro. Did I say Robert Shapiro? Yes, Robert Shapiro and Barry Scheck. Okay. That's who I'm thinking of, those Robert Shapiro. So he had a lot of people. And all those people were like juggernauts. I know some of them are still here, but I think most of them are no longer here. But yeah, they were juggernauts in the world of law. Unpopular says he allegedly killed them, both very bloody and horrible murders. I saw the bodies. It was sad. I ain't never seen the bodies. I would not want to see that. They said one of them was almost beheaded, from what I understand. And Shan says, yes, and Sean Hawley was part of the dream team. Sean Hawley also represented Suge Knight and Puffy. Yes, so he had a lot of people. Brother Simon says, to see how much control white America still have over the black mind, just take a guilty versus not guilty poll. Oh, yeah, for sure. Toby says, stick with own kind and have some class. I love that. That is a great way to be getting up out of here. Gregory Van Leer Jr., how you doing? He said it's a mob hit. That's the word, that it could be a mob hit. Buckhorse, how you doing? Where you been? He says 18 looks good. Is that what you're saying about me? Mike Lewis, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, how you doing? It says Dimitri, they had that OJ high-speed chase wrong. He wasn't running from the police. He was trying to get me to work. I was late. You crazy? Oh, but he didn't see the police behind him, like all of the LAPD, trying to talk him out of it. Slow down, stop. We just want to talk to you. Everything's going to be okay. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yeah, he running. I don't look good. Joey says, I think they sent a hitman after Nicole because the drug debt wasn't paid. That was what I heard as well. Guy says OJ was not in love with Nicole. They had been divorced for more than 10 years. Yeah, they were trying to say it was some jealousy because I guess they had bumped into each other at the same restaurant or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So they're saying that was motive, that he was jealous of seeing them two together. So that's the motive that they're trying to say. And then, of course, they showed those pictures of where he allegedly abused her, her sister. Can't remember her name, but showed these pictures of evidence that she kept in a vault of, her face being black and blue from OJ. But from what I understand, they asked the first wife, had he ever did anything like that to you? And she was like, nah, because, I'm pretty handy with the frying pan. Yes, and Keisha says the lack of a DNA evidence, the lack of wound on OJ, and then the Mexican bow tie that they said the victim suffered convince me that OJ did not do it. That's how our folks, that's not how our folks move. Yeah. Said it was very skilled in how it was done. So I agree with you. Nora says, I wish we had more Johnny Cochran lawyers. We would probably have our reparations by now. The great Johnny Cochran, R.I.P. Yes, indeed. He really had a love for Black people. He really did. Beverly says the OJ trial was like watching Columbo. The Dream Team was awesome to watch. Yeah, everybody, it had everybody locked in. I know that I was locked in from beginning to end, even to the verdict, and I had something to do. Ross says OJ should have left the U.S. when he was acquitted. Yep, I totally agree with you. But nah, he had to go on there like, Superfly. So I don't know, try to get his stuff. Just call the police, man. Of course, the white man, oh, he did this and that to me. And, OJ had to pay for that. Brother Samuel says some Black men's Samsons get an honorary white status while their white woman, Delilah, search for a weakness to take him down. Okay. MC Fact says it wasn't possible they were involved with coke and that anyone can look it up. He said it wasn't possible or was possible. Pop says Ron Goldman had a high cocaine debt from Colombia, hence the thing through the neck. Okay, got you. Again, those are all speculations that we heard. I don't think anything's ever been verified. Arson says, I also remember when I was on the day of the verdict in where you were in high school celebrating it. However, I would like to invite you to check Judge Joe Brown's comments on this. A lot was left out. I saw some of it where he was talking about some of the stuff because he said that he looked into it and he knew somebody that was well connected. I think he said his son or somebody who was doing some investigating on the case. So yeah. Of course, yes, ma'am. I want to see younger pictures of you. I bet you look good. What's funny? I found my because y'all know I had a house fire and I lost all my pictures. A high school picture of me, and my daughter said I look like a Bernstein bear in my senior picture. So I may show y'all that one day for kicks and giggles. A guy said it's a fact that all of Nicole's friends were criminals. Oh, okay. Shan says, why did they didn't they ask Cato to put on the gloves? They were found behind his living quarters. Yes, Cato, was it Cato Kalin or something like that? Was the white man that lived on the premises with OJ and I guess the guest house. And that was a whole hot mess too. So yeah. Common Man says they came to the house looking for Nicole. Ron Goldman just pulled up at the wrong time. She opened the door for Ron and they got them. I feel bad for Ron, Nicole, and not Nicole. So you're just saying he just happened to be there, wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, that I've heard that as well. And let's see here. One who cares that Johnny Cochran was working on the legislation for reparation, little known fact, via Judge Brown. Yeah, I remember because my mom and them were well abreast of all of that, talking about getting reparations. And Johnny Cochran was spearheading that. Now, of course, we know Johnny Cochran had a whole lot of money, but again, he had a love for his people. So he really did fight hard for his people. Of course, we know he died of, I think it was a brain tumor or cancer or something like that as well. So who y'all talking about? Alonzo says, I hate the narrative of every Black man being totally infatuated and super enamored with white women. That's the vitriol and hate for us. Oh no, trust me, I know a lot of brothers that do not and will not want to be with a white woman. I trust me, I know for a fact that is not all Black men. I would imagine there's more Black men that like Black women, and we know that to be the truth, right? Because it's more Black men that are married to Black women more than anybody. So that narrative that Black men love white women, there's a lot of Black men who no, they don't like white women. They like their own woman. So yeah. And number one, how you doing? He says the OJ trial put the entire LA police department on trial. Evidence tampering, racism, false police testimonies, all during the height of the war on drugs. Yeah. That Rampart division, I think that was shortly after, or was it shortly before, one or two? I think it's 77 precinct that got in trouble for gang and drug activity. Now, we're talking about police officers, put a whole lot of innocent people in jail, crippled a lot of people, just a mess. So yeah, that division, they had a lot of stuff going on. Yes, Keisha Cato lived there for free, and I don't think he was a good witness at all. I think he kind of was, I don't know. You know, and then from what I understand, a very wealthy person ended up buying that house there in Brentwood and bulldozed it, bought it to bulldoze it, obviously because of what happened there. They said it was, blood everywhere. Judge Dredge says, I would never let a devil live under my roof. All right now. And let's see, comment. He says, OJ told me and my agent what really happened. Nicole was trailer park. For real? You playing with me? Brina says, I did not know Johnny Cochran was doing all that for reparation. It wasn't his death questionable. No, I think he had cancer or tumor, something like that. But yeah, he was fighting for reparations. He surely was. You crazy, Pop. Jay says, trust me, over the past year, OJ thought in the back of his mind, I wonder if they did this to me. As far as cancer, I don't know. Larson says, laugh out loud. Well, I don't know about the daughter's comments or at the Bears. Says, but from where I stand, I do know that if Demetra, let's see, comment went up. If Demetra told me she just turned 30, I wouldn't question it. Oh, yeah, she would. You'd be like, quit lying. Trust me, like I said, y'all, today I'm every bit of 53. It pulled my booty muscle and it hurts. I don't even know what it's going to be like trying to get up. I might have to call my daughter. Can you help me get up? Because it hurts that bad. So if I don't feel better in the morning, I'm going to go to the doctor and say I did something to myself. How do you even fix that? And I think it's a pulled muscle. I think. Common Man says, Ron Goldman walked into something he had no idea about. Yeah, that's possible. Because they were trying to say OJ was looking through the windows and he saw them booed up and kissing and all that. Because it sounds like Ron just took her sunglasses. So that's what it was. She forgot her sunglasses because he's a waiter at the restaurant. So he took her, I guess they were very expensive, her sunglasses back to her. And that's how they say he ended up over there. But who really knows, right? Yeah, I just think he got caught up in, as they say, a trick bag. They said that on one of my favorite movies, No Country for Old Men. And it said, what kind of trick bag is this? Or he got caught up in a trick bag or something like that. Negro said, where did the term simp come from? I don't know. It's not a new term. It's been around for a very long time, but it's kind of refreshed itself somewhere in the last couple of years. So I think, Kevin Samuels repopularized the term, but it's an old term. And Deacon, he said, I was in 11th grade when they aired that OJ trial. Yeah, so Alonzo says, we came up in an era that we should never get serious with a white woman labeled as a simp if you did. Oh, okay. Our Negro said, yeah, they did that to make us jealous and have an agenda and a Satan worship to have the black man with the white woman. There's some symbolism with that. There's a statue worshiping that union. Really? Okay. Miss Tiffany, how you doing? Says, I'm late, but I'm on time. I'm going to rewind it back. Have a great night, everyone. And you have a great night as well. Yeah, I said a booty muscle. I don't know what I did to it, but it hurts. It hurts bad. It's terrible. I tried to run and I kept running. I should have stopped, but I just thought, okay, maybe I caught a muscle cramp, and it might even still be that it just hurts. He said the deacon can help you crazy. I am Keisha. I'm gonna take it each for a couple days, but I hate when I start doing something and I can't do it. And it's like I always got to start over. Y'all wild. And Brother Sammy says, I also remember this case showing what white America really thinks about blacks. NOI. He says, I think he meant no matter how much they try to hide it, Trump brought it out as well. Yeah, he did. They felt emboldened. Gilbert, how you doing? He says, try some magnesium. I have some. Maybe I'll take some tonight. Maybe I'll double up. I think I'll take some tonight. Pop says, Ron was tapping. You crazy. Oh, my God. All right. And Damon Bynum, how you doing? Says, moral of the story, we need to stay with our own tribe. Even in death, these devils try to humiliate and discredit us. They don't know, but there's a blood debt to be paid. I'm going to let that comment stand. Yes, Madam CJ Walker behind me, Toby. Yes, indeed. That is Villa Lararo. That was her mansion, her estate. And that's all of the people, and I'm sure family too, that worked for her. Y'all know she was kind of attributed to having the first multi-level marketing, like the Avon model and Amway and all of that. They attribute her with the, at least back then, the creation of that. So those are some of her employees, not all, but some of them. So I like that background as inspiration, but I love when people point that out. It sees that you're paying attention. Deacon says that's how we started off sex, by asking, did a woman want a massage? Right. And then try to turn into something else. Yeah, don't fall for it, ladies. It's a trick. Biofreeze. I wish I had some Biofreeze today. Yes, it might even be a socket or something, but it sure feels like that's where it's at. Brother Samuel says the Willie Lynch to distrust all blacks has occurred to me. That's why stereotypes must be pushed on white as well to maintain the mass mind control. Absolutely. Anybody familiar with the Willie Lynch letter? Its authenticity has come in question. It is said that it was a professor in the 90s, a black professor, that wrote it and passed it off as it was written in the 1700s. But regardless of when it was written, it sure does make a lot of sense, right? So he was really just trying to get us to realize the programming that we're under and how we operate. So absolutely. Icy hot. Now that's really that's when you know you're old. I got to get some icy hot. I didn't stretch, Miss Sweet. I didn't stretch at all. I did a warm-up lap. I walked really fast and I just took off running. I won't do that again. I should have stretched, but I didn't. So hopefully it's nothing serious. Common Man says, yep, the sheriff department in California hates rich black people at Demetri. They even try to get the Jacksons from the Jackson 5 family. Oh yeah. They are the OG race soldiers. They are infamous. All the police departments are, but Los Angeles, they're super infamous. And Alonzo, he says, Demetri, salts help with muscle pain. Try Epsom salt and alcohol. I'm going to have to try something because, my God, it really does. It hurts. Deacon says, the wig starting all the self. What? And Nora says, going from a black woman to a white woman is like going from a Cadillac to a mule. I'm going to just let that one stand. You said what I've been doing? I've been running. Judge Drez. I'll try to. I'm a runner, but I haven't run in a while because I remember last year I told y'all I hurt my ankle really bad. I tripped at my dad's house when I was in California. Tripped. Felt like 30 minutes to fall. I was trying not to fall. Bruised up my arm, and I was jacked up. So I think I must have cracked something. But it took me like 6 months for that to heal. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start running and try it. Some don't want me to run. I don't know why, but Aspirin, Michi said Aspirin. I'm gonna try it all, but more importantly, I'll probably just take my old self to the doctor. Deacon says, the definition of virtuous black queen and women, the hoes try to hide behind good women. You crazy. Oh, Lord. Thank you. Herschel says, hey, I resent that. I got icy hot in my medicine cabinet. I'm just saying. Okay, maybe icy hot, not bad, but been gay? Is that when we can say we're old officially? I don't know. Brother Samuel says, I wouldn't doubt that, Madam C.J. Walker, because summarily George Washington Carver started the assembly line process teaching to Henry Ford. Absolutely true. And Michi says, my husband says, not that night perfume been gay. That's what it is, right? Like, ooh, let me put something on. Let me put something on before I go to bed. Have all the sheets and everything smelling like big. That stuff is strong. That is too funny. Gilbert says also looking to Baron supplements. Yeah, if it don't get better with the next couple of days, I'm gonna go to the doctor because it hurts. Like I can barely walk. And even trying to put my shorts on, because I got some shorts. Put my shorts on, I couldn't hardly do it. It's like, oh, it hurt. It hurt now when I just did that. Icy hot Vicks, that's everything. Now, I honestly think it's probably a little bit more than something topical. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here because I'm tired. Quita says, Demetria, we're past 50. Love, embrace yourself. Yeah, I don't want to grow old. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a story before I leave out of here. Okay. Last week, my daughter and I were walking. Okay. And I walked a little bit faster. So she was behind me and she goes, don't take this the wrong way. I said, okay, what? I think she's going to say something like terrible, And I guess it kind of maybe is. She says, your butt is getting bigger. I said, it is? And then I thought, then I'm really getting old. Because, when older women get, a little older, they booty, it gets like that old lady booty, like a church lady booty. And I was like, well, I don't mind having a little something back there. So I was like, okay, maybe I need to stop being lazy, like really start getting it into gear and working out like I used to, right? So I was like, nah, hell no. I can't have an old lady booty. So that's kind of where I started running to. And I think I overdid it. So yeah, that's what she said. I was like, I don't need no more. I don't need no more back there. But anyway, yeah, my daughter, I thought she was gonna say something like, maybe I'm going bald or something. I don't know, I don't know. But that, yeah, I don't want a church lady booty. I ain't ready for that yet. I don't want a glow the dean booty. Maybe when I'm little, maybe 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'll be all right with the glow the dean church booty, talking about, excuse me. I need to sit. But not yet. Yeah, Granny Fanny. Not yet. I hate yoga. I hate it. I try yoga a few times and it's just too slow for me. I be off in space thinking about other stuff that have nothing to do with yoga. It's too slow for me. I'm one of those people, I need to be like running, lifting weights, Zumba, jumping up and down, cycling. I need to be moving because my mind, I'll be doing too much other stuff and be like, what we doing now? The child pose, the dog pose. I don't know. And the love leader, how you doing? Says, stop it with the old lady booty. Yeah, that's what that means. I'm 53 years old and now my booty, and my daughter, she's a pretty good judge of stuff. If she said it, I believe it. And when I heard that, I heard church lady booty. Not ready for church lady booty yet. Not yet. Not quite. So Alonzo, you say good night till next time, Dimitri. Yes, night. Zumba is so much fun. Yeah, I stopped doing that. I need to get back into it. Anyway, brothers have myself starts with some squats and hip raises, underweight stretching. Yeah, when my leg don't hurt, I can't even do that. What Deacon says, no female rappers talk about a woman's hygiene because that's what your mama and your grandmama for. Your mama should teach you how about hygiene, right? You should not be, in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s, and 60s, not taking a bath every day. Now, I get it. Maybe sometimes you want to take one every other day when you get older because you ain't really doing much. I think they get a pass. But if you running around, your donkey is probably funky and you need to take a bath every day. You need to get all the hot spots, the cat baths. I don't even know what that's about. But yeah, jump in the shower, tub, whatever your thing is, every day. Soap. Let it sit for a minute. Then rinse it off, okay? And get the places you're supposed to be getting, okay? So, rappers, I don't think that's their job. I think that's your mama's job, your granny. The common man, he say, that's why you need a man with big hands. I'm 6'3". You know what? I'll contemplate on that as I'm going to sleep. I contemplate the meaning of life a lot. Now I think about what you just said. Yes, Pop, a funky donkey. You must wash it. Negro says, question is, why aren't the elders or big sisters telling women about hygiene? Why do we need rappers for that? Yeah, I never listened to MC Light or Queen Latifah, Bahama D, and none of them tell me to, wash my stuff. That came from my mama and them. I'm just saying. Anyway, I better go. Yes, the love leader. Bathing is an everyday must. Brooklyn says, don't forget to wash the clothes. We black. Yeah, you gotta wash your clothes often. Okay, don't just roll over, reach in a hamper, and put something on. It's like, bruh, that need to be washed. Okay, it's funky. Anyway, I love you guys. I love you. Maybe Walter will be. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you guys tell y'all about something that's gonna be coming up in May. Okay. I'm not gonna tell you his name or anything. This guy is writing a book and he wants to come on the show. Now it's very controversial things. I won't tell you what they are because I want y'all to be, surprised. And I told him, I said, my audience ain't no punk. I said, they gonna eat your lunch. You want to come talking like that? I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is. I want y'all to, when he comes on here, and we'll go from there. But just know that is going to be coming up. Be prepared for that. Anyway, Michi says, you get the news before anyone else smells you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know you funky. Why you got to go out in public and have people like, because I do that a lot when I'm out. I'm like, now if I smell that, why they don't smell it? How you used to that? So yeah, you're right. You smell you before you smell you. Yes, Brother Sammy, I really do love you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here with me. We'll be back here tomorrow. What we'll talk about, I don't know. It's supposed to be relationship, but Walter will be here. And maybe Carlos will come here too. We'll see. But nevertheless, see y'all tomorrow. You know what? I think it's and panty liners. Oh, don't get me started about that. That's a whole another subject for a whole another day. I would say, women need to breathe. I'm going to just leave it at that. Anyway, good night. And Kishi says, not that little Hispanic guy who was against black folks and against reparations. I'm already annoyed. And who on here doing that? Anyway, I love you. You guys have a great evening. Peace.